Just keep it real. Big John Steel. Tell me how you feel. Convince me where the top go. Just keep it real. Big John Steel. Tell me how you feel. Convince me where the top go. Jesus is king. Big John Steel. Jesus is king. Big John Steel. Bro, you don't make any sense. Slow down a second, it's making you tense. When I be talking, just don't interrupt. I say the truth, you get salty for what? Give me an argument, not an assertion. I'm almost convinced that you're not a real person. Why are you galloping? What do you gish? Topic to topic, you flop like a fish. Say what you're meaning while being concise. Still got my taco, I ain't leaving Christ. Linda, just listen, get wrecked by a Christian. I think you might have a special condition. I debate all of you Muslim and atheists, witches and wizards and new ages. I roll with Jesus, you still get defeated. You won't change my mind even if you repeat it. Just keep it real. Big John Steel. Tell me how you feel. Convince me where the top go. Just keep it real. Big John Steel.
I was all center, now I'm off center. There we go. What's up, folks? What's up, everyone? Hope everyone's having a good day. Can y'all hear me okay? Does hit hard, doesn't it?
Give me some logic, I just wanna know why you so toxic, bro. I'm on a roll. You wanna troll me, I'm shutting you down. I be too busy to suffer a clown. Say that you hold a position, defend it. Linda, I know you don't listen, let's end it. It's your own fault that you're stuck in your state. I just move on if you come in bad faith. Don't say that I mean, I say what I mean. I'm showing love, pull you away from the thief. You run away, you afraid or you weak. Bro, I don't play, I can make them retreat. You choose a deceit, ain't making me nervous. For those that I reach, I've been living my purpose. This ain't at all about the money. Money. Trying to lift up the soul of his gum is real. Big John Steel. Tell me how you feel.
Convince me when the top go.
Just keep it real. Big John Steel.
Tell me how you feel.
Convince me when the top go. Jesus
is king.
Big John Steel.
Jesus is king.
Big John Steel.
What's up, folks? Hope everybody's having a good Labor Day weekend. I didn't know you guys had that in America. I thought it was a Canadian thing, but we got it too. We share in a holiday, I guess. I'm not taking a break. I was taking a break, and now I'm back, and I'll probably be taking a break again in the future, in the near future. When it pours, man. Or when it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. I fixed some things. Hopefully, now we have less issues. But every time I try to fix some things, it ends up being worse.
Jesus is king.
Ends up being worse.
Jesus is king.
Guys, make sure you're smashing the like button, sharing the live before we get started. You don't have it in Belgium? Is Belgium even a real place? Is that a real location?
Where chocolates come from.
Is that the chocolate? That's what you guys are known for, your chocolate. It's what you're known for, your chocolate. All right, that goes on and on. Good song, but it just trails. What's up, everyone? Let's do a quick prayer before we get started today. James Franco sucks. Are you the original? Ain't no way you're the original, bro. Ain't no way you're the original coming in saying, ain't no way. I'm gonna be pumped if that's really you. I'm genuinely pumped. It is the original, bro. That guy has been watching me since I started. Bro. Since I started doing these things years ago. A freaking somebody posted a video about me the other day too. When I was debating Alex O'Connor, and like they posted the part where I'm getting cooked, and like they're like, look at this guy get cooked, and it's like, oh great, this makes me feel so nice. But somebody said in the comments, and I couldn't help but laugh. They're like, which Jonas brother is this? I was like, I mean, fair play, bro. Fair play. How can I be mad at that, bro? James Franco. For a while though, everybody was calling me James Franco. I even had to make a few videos of me, like, you know how James Franco had that meme for a while where he turned around and did that smile, like in Spider-Man. Yeah. So I'd made a video of me turning around, and all of a sudden it cut to James Franco. The short one, bro. How you gonna do me like that? Huh? I'm tall as shit. I'm not tall as shit. I'm like average height. What is average height for a man? What is the average height? I'm 6'1". Is that average?
Honestly, I think it's like 5'11".
Is it?
Probably.
That's actually pretty tall, isn't it?
No, that's not like an inch taller than me.
Yeah, but you're tall for a woman. That's literally what all the doctors said to you. 5'8" average.
That's true.
5'9" is average. I don't believe any of you guys when you're saying this. 5'9" is average. I don't believe that.
Oh, the Google says 5'7.5".
5'7". Well, is that including Asian countries?
I don't know. Oh, globally.
Globally, yeah. You got to say
in
what's
the United States, 5'9".
5'9". Wow.
That's still shorter than me.
Wow. Well, you're taller than the average man. Think about that. You're taller than the average man. The thing is, I just don't believe it because 90% of the time when like I go to train and stuff, I'm like surrounded by giants. So I'm like, I'm a small guy. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something I completely forgot. Oh yeah, I was gonna pray. John, are you saying Asians are bringing down the average? Yeah, but they're bringing up the average in intelligence. I mean, let's just be transparent. There are stereotypes for a reason, man. Stereotypes for a reason. Like if I found out today I had to go play basketball against a bunch of black dudes, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm cooked. But if I found out I had to go play basketball against a bunch of Asians, I'm like, I got a shot. Like it's just how it is, bro. I know somebody's gonna clip that one. Happy Labor Day. Lord, thank you for this day and the blessings. Thank you for all that you have given. I ask that you put your hand and your will into this live so that it can be guided to the people who need to be guided to, and that you just do fruitful and good things with it, and you allow the Holy Spirit to move through us and correct us and put us back on the right path, for you are King in all things, Lord. Let's do it. In Jesus' name, amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit. Somebody said, ouch, are you Asian? Are you Asian? Are you good at basketball? That's the question. That's the question, bro. Listen. I'm white and I don't got rhythm. There's a reason when I rapped I was a chopper, because I can't flow on a beat. I got that melodic, robotic rhythm. Right? How can we share the New Testament is God? Because someone asked me. Yeah, I'm 5'11", 1'2", but I have played basketball half my life, so I always saw myself as short. Also, everyone assumes I'm 6 feet. I just roll with it. Yeah, just roll with it, bro. I mean, women don't know measurements, bro. Listen, if you're 5'11", just tell them you're 6 foot. Just tell them you're 6 foot. They can't tell the difference. Can't tell the difference. They just can't do it. It's impossible. And I think every man knows what I'm thinking right now. Every man understands what I'm saying, and I'm not going to say it because my wife is literally 5 feet away from me. Oh my God. Stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason. All right. Today's topic: no good reason to be Muslim, no good reason to be atheist. Prove me wrong, win a taco. Join at tinyurl.com/BJS guest. Password 12345. I also think I fixed it so we could take guests on TikTok. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, if you guys disagree with me, it might be a slow day considering it's a holiday and everybody's out doing things. But if you guys want to join, that's how you join, or you can click the multi-guest button. Those are your options. What do I think about Matthew 5:17 through 19? Great verse. It's in the Bible. We should read it. What's worse, to be a Muslim or an atheist? Muslim, because they have really gross dogmatic beliefs. At least atheists, you don't know what you're going to get. You can get anything. But for when it comes to argumentation, bro, I don't know anymore. So white, you look shirtless. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Just give me a second. I'm arguing with Dan McClellan on Twitter right now. Oh, he hasn't responded yet. Oh my God. All right, fine. What?
Do you want me to hit the X?
Oh yeah. Make us live. Open up the floodgates. Is Mindshift going to debate me? He has not responded to me. We're going to do a response to Mindshift tonight on Inspiring Philosophy's channel. So that will be live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys want to watch us respond to Mindshift, that's when we are doing it. So come join us there.
Is that here?
Yeah, 8 o'clock here.
Okay.
Yeah, 8 o'clock our time. 8 o'clock our time. Oh, I have guests. I thought I had guests. Did you guys not want to join? Guys, smash the like button, share the live. Wow, we only got 40 people on TikTok. What's going on there? What is going on there?
TikTok sucks.
TikTok does suck, bro. I used to get like, am I an atheist? Do I look like an atheist too? Do I look like I'm lacking brain cells? Where's the link? The link for what? The response video tonight? Just go to Inspiring Philosophy's YouTube. It'll be right there.
Oh yeah.
It'll be right there. I was doing something. What was I doing?
Debating Dan McCollum.
Oh no, he hasn't responded yet.
Oh.
I was gonna go into my second account on TikTok if it's not banned. Actually, I think it is.
Oh.
Yeah, it still is.
Sounds about right.
Oh, bro. I'm always banned on everything. Always banned on everything. Can you go into your TikTok, make sure everything looks good?
Yep.
Then. Atheism is the only logical option. Everything else is logically flawed. Come up and have a conversation about it. tinyurl.com/BJS guest 12345 is the password. Oh, Mr. A. Mr. A, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Sorry, how old are you? All right, let me bring you in, man. All right, no good reason to be Muslim, no good reason to be atheist. Prove me wrong. When in taco, go ahead.
Beautiful. First off, happy to be here. First time. Yeah, so I'm a little nervous,
You're good.
but just wanted to bring up a couple of points that, I'm not really good at this whole debate thing, but I'm just going off of like a conversation between two people, and I'm just going off of like what I think and feel and see and learn. Is that cool?
Sure.
Okay.
And then I lost him. All that hype up, and then we lost him, boys.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. He just vanished. I kicked him. That's what everybody's gonna say. I was getting cooked and I kicked him. It's okay to be nervous when I call up on other channels all the time and I get nervous. That's the thing. It's a lot easier to be on your own channel. I was gonna implement, guys. I was thinking about, what do you think about this? I was gonna implement a system where we put voting in, where I can't kick anybody unless obviously they're being vulgar, unless you guys vote them out, because there's this thing that's going around now about me that is John just kicks people every time he's getting cooked. That's what he does. Somebody starts cooking him, he kicks them. So I was thinking about that. To remove the responsibility from me, I'd put it on you guys, because we can't just let people go on tangents for like 6 hours about nothingness. We put it on you guys. You guys can vote them out. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? Then it's no longer John. Now it's Big John Steele's crowd kicks them out every time he gets cooked. All right, let's bring in a guest. Oh, they're not there too. Wow. What do you think? Keep versus kick. A poll is a good idea. Yeah, I want to shift the blame. That's still running. Oh my god, you cannot win with these people. Oh, I think you're just trolling me. Bro. Because you can't have somebody up forever. Eventually, you have to move to another guest, right? Right? You can't just pick one person and just have them up for eternity. Oh, it's just taking forever to bring them in for some reason. What is going on? Uh-oh. Oh, there we are. Aaron, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? I can hear you. Can you hear me? No. God bless.
I wouldn't have guessed if you hadn't been honest.
Don't tell him that. He's going to come back and I'm going to forget who it was. Mr. A, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Oh, lost him too. Have a time limit then? We've done a time limit before, but the problem with time limits is you can have a good conversation and then all of a sudden the time limit runs out and you got to kick them. That's the problem with time limits. Do this voting, but you also decide if you really want to continue the convo. I don't want to continue most combos. Are we married? Yes, we're married. Were you hoping that we weren't so you can cast judgment on us?
Maybe they're trying to hit on you.
Oh, maybe. What happens if they vote to kick me? I just walk out of the room. I wish we could play music. That's the biggest thing I wish we could do. I wish we could play music, but copyright things. No harm in it. God loves everyone, but God's not here anymore. How about burden of proof? Guys, join tinyurl.com/BJS guest. Why is that so hard to say? Why is it when I click for somebody to join, it takes like so long? I don't know what's going on. Oh, there we go. Got Mr. A again. Hello. You get some crazy background noise too now, man.
Just for a second.
Hold on. I think you're good now. I think you're good now.
Oh, okay. Okay,
All right,
great.
man. All right, go ahead.
Technical difficulties, sorry. But anyways,
No way.
All right, no good reason to be Muslim, no good reason to be atheist. Prove me wrong, win a taco. Join at tinyurl.com/BJS guest, password 12345. I just realized something with the new system I set up. They probably hear themselves. That's going to be an issue. I didn't realize that until right now. Well, no, so far no one's complained about it, although we've only got the one guy. I don't know what happened. He just keeps losing connection. Host has no life. Who has less of a life? Somebody who makes a live and does the lives, or somebody who just sits there and watches them and critiques them? What kind of phone do I have? I have an iPhone. What kind of phone do you have? Starting, statistically seems like the issue is on my end. Nope, it's everyone else. It's everyone else, not me. Somebody who hosts a live with 60 viewers and thinks they matter. I have 409 viewers. Where are you getting 60 from? Where are you getting 60 from? Atheism is gay, that's why. This app would be better if you weren't on it? Probably. You're not wrong. All right, let's bring in another guest. Oh, TikTok's got no viewers, but that's not where most of my viewers are. Still waiting for somebody to stop being a keyboard warrior. Listen, if you're talking shit in the chat, join tinyurl.com/BJS guest, password 12345, or continue being a coward. Was I beaten as a child? Abby still beats me now. What is being Muslim worse than being atheist? Just curious. Because of what they do to children. We don't get guests today, guys. So I'm just going to call it a day. And we're just going to see you at the Inspiring Philosophy Live later on tonight. Because I got other things I could be doing. There we go. Goodness. I'm starting to wonder if it's it's the same guy. So if it's technical issues, it's not me if it's him.
time's a charm, I swear. I'm gonna try to stick on this screen. I went to a different screen. Sorry.
You're good, bro. Go ahead.
But I swear I'm not. I'm not. Yeah. Okay. No good reason to be atheist. So, something I thought of is a Christian and an atheist. If they both go to the doctor, I feel like the Christian might be might take the superstitious route. They might think a miracle will save them from an illness, as opposed to getting the treatment. Whereas an atheist is more likely to follow the doctor's orders, and so I feel like that's a good reason to be atheist.
You don't have to be an atheist to go to the doctor.
Didn't say that. So, what I said is a Christian
Mm-hmm.
and an atheist. They both go to the doctor. They both have cancer. A Christian has more of a possibility of believing a miracle will save them.
Okay.
True or false?
Only if they're stupid. I mean, not that miracles are stupid, but both.
Yeah. So this thing in Christianity called common grace, where you go to doctors, like you're actually supposed to go to it. So
I don't think you answered my question. Do you think it's true or false that a Christian is more likely to believe in a miracle that
Yeah.
could lead them to not getting
Yeah.
treatment from a doctor,
yeah,
as opposed to an atheist?
sure.
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a good reason to be atheist, I guess, right?
No, because that's still just stupid. Just saying somebody is stupid isn't a good reason to be an atheist, because atheists can also have the belief that doctors don't actually do anything, and it's all seed oils and conspiracy and government, right? That's still a possibility with an atheism. So then they refuse to go to the doctor as well. Like, you can be a Christian and go to
Okay.
the doctor.
No, I hear you. But it's more of a possibility with a Christian. Because the possibility, well, I guess it's possible for an atheist to believe that a miracle will save them too, but I think it's more of a probability that a Christian would believe that, you know? So I don't know.
Yeah,
That's just
that's not a good
that's a point.
reason. That's not a good reason to be something, though.
Hmm.
Because a Christian should go to the doctor.
No, I agree. I'm not saying should. I didn't say should. What I am saying though is, like, for instance, is it more like I'm approaching it from a, is it more likely? You know what I mean? So, like, based off of yeah. But anyways,
Okay, well, then just
like I said,
flip it.
that's my point. That's my
We
point.
could just
I don't know. I made my point.
we could flip it around and say who's more likely to get a conspiracy type vaccine that's actually meant to unalive you, an atheist or a Christian?
Yeah, because the atheist is following the science and the doctors. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
I
So
hear you.
I
That's
could just
actually
take
kind
any
of a valid
ridiculous argument
turnaround.
and throw it at you, right?
Yeah, I guess in the same vein as you're saying that both could act stupid, they could both act intelligent. So I get it. I definitely see your point. But yeah, I guess also are you like more like on the Bible, like a uh, follow the literal words of the Bible, all of the Bible, or just kind of more of like Jesus' teachings? Like which do you kind of fall more under?
I take the literal parts literal, the hyperbolic parts hyperbolic, the poetic parts poetically,
Oh,
the apocalyptic parts
oh gosh.
apocalyptically.
Oh, okay. Can I ask you a series of questions, just respectfully?
Sure.
You say you believe in miracles, right? That they're real,
I just got to say
that
this
they
again,
could
really,
happen.
people in the chat. Bro got a whole setup for 60 viewers. I got 412 viewers, my friend. 412 right there. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you believe that miracles can happen, that they are
Yes.
real.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Um, I'm just curious, to what extent do you think God could regrow a limb right
Could
now?
he? Well, Bruce Van Natta grew back, got his intestines grown back through prayer. So
Oh, so you think that okay, that that God can regrow a limb?
God can do anything. That's the point.
So you're okay. Okay, I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm learning about where you kind of stand on that. Do you think so you think the flood was real, like
I think it was
Noah's
real,
Ark and
but
all
I
that?
think it was localized.
localized?
Mhm.
Like the whole Earth didn't flood, a part of the Earth flooded. Is that what you think?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Uh, yeah. There's plenty of people who can say that there's no evidence of that, but
Of a localized
yeah,
flood?
it's
No, the
interesting.
consensus is there was a localized flood. That is the consensus
Okay,
viewpoint. It's a world flood they
gotcha.
argue against.
How come? Okay, that's fair enough. I'll concede that. That's fine. How come? So you think probably that Jesus and your God are the way, the truth, and the life, and the only way.
Jesus is
If
God.
you were born in the okay, if you were born in the Middle East, and if you were Muslim, do you think you'd have that same viewpoint about your God?
If I was Muslim, no. Because I'd
Well,
be
what I mean,
Muslim.
or Islamic, I mean, like if you were born in a different part of the world where the general um, popular religion around you
I don't
and the
know.
influence of that.
I didn't grow up
Uh,
Christian. So I have no
oh, okay.
idea what would have
Well,
happened. I also wasn't really
like if
hugely
you,
influenced by Christianity in my youth. I had some influence of it, but not major.
I understand. I mean, same. I kind of grew up Christian too. You
No, I
know,
didn't grow up
in
Christian.
Sunday school and stuff. Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. I hear you on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just curious. So, like, based on the influences of where people are born, right? Like, if you're born in the Bible Belt, you might more likely be Christian. If you're in the Middle East, you're probably Muslim. In Asia, you're probably Buddhist.
Hmm.
So, my question is,
And if you're born in North America,
like,
you're more likely to have better reading comprehension and understand mathematics than you are if you're born in a third world country. That doesn't make reading
yeah, fair
comprehension
enough.
mathematics false.
Fair enough. I just think with okay, so my point I'm trying to get to is kind of like with so many different religions and everyone is believing the same thing, as in they believe that their religion is correct.
Hmm.
What makes you correct,
The
or
death and
your
resurrection of Jesus
view
Christ.
and your God? I'm sorry, one more time.
The death and resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Okay. Uh, I'm sorry. I just there's just no evidence for that, but
There's a lot of evidence
I
for
don't know.
that. What do you
I'm
call
I'm
what? Can you give me the definition of evidence?
so let me put it this way.
Hold on. Don't just jump off to another
Gravity.
point, right? You said there's no evidence for that. Give me a definition for evidence.
I see. We're getting philosophical, I guess. I'm not really into the whole. Well, I mean, look, I if it's good faith and you really want me to define evidence, that's fine. I'm going off of just kind of like an everyday person type
Well,
of
I don't think it's good faith to
evidence.
say that there is no evidence for something when you don't even understand what the word evidence is.
Yeah, you're doing it. Yeah,
I'm doing
that's
what?
cool.
Hold on,
That's
hold on.
cool.
What am I doing? What am I doing?
So evidence.
No, no, but you said I'm doing it. What am I doing?
We could. I mean, you're kind of saying I don't understand what the word evidence means, and
Well, I didn't
I
say
don't think
that.
that's the case.
I asked you what it was, and then you couldn't give me a definition, and then you asked me if I was going to argue in good faith, and I just simply say I think it's bad faith for people to say there's no evidence for things when they don't even know what the word evidence means. Like I think there's an
Fair
entire
enough. Fair enough.
collective of people that argue in bad faith that way.
Okay, I concede. It's fine. But like, what I mean by evidence is just like what I can see, feel, um, interpret, or learn.
What you can see, feel, interpret, or learn?
Yeah, like
Can you learn things that are false? Would that be
gravity is.
considered evidence?
Yeah, so then there's no evidence if there's no evidence.
But I'm saying I can learn that Glibloglorp is 6 feet tall. That doesn't mean that's evidence for Glibloglorp, right?
Yeah, for sure. If I go to a different like if I click away from this screen that I have
Hmm.
and look up the dictionary definition, you'll probably lose the call. So if you want to look up
I
what
could tell you
evidence
what
is,
the
that's cool. We
definition
can
is.
both do that.
I could tell you. So the definition
Sure, sure,
is,
go ahead.
yeah. So it's anything that raises the probability of something being true.
Raises the probability of something being true.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, same with like gravity, right? Like it's interesting how gravity. I could be wrong. I don't know much about like physics or anything like that, but I believe it's like a theory, right? Like it's still not completely proven,
Well,
which is
nothing.
weird.
The
Because it's like,
that's just a misunderstanding of like epistemology here, because nothing is completely proven, right? Nothing has 100% proof to it. So in science, they
uh-huh,
can't say that anything is certain simply because there's a possibility it could be something they just don't understand in the future. So theory is like a really high regard. It's almost certain, but if we found new data, they couldn't go back. They have to go back and rewrite. So a good example of this is when they released the James Webb Telescope and they looked back to the center of the universe. They expected to see smaller and smaller galaxies. They didn't. They saw bigger galaxies. So this changed everything that they understood about the beginning of the universe. And so now they don't know, and they have to go back to the writing board, which is why it's a theory, even though that's where the evidence points. So right now, gravity, being bending space time, is the best conclusion considering the data. It's possible it could be something else. So they say it's a theory.
right, right. I'm glad you taught me more about that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Um, I'm still on this journey and still learning, so I appreciate that. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about atheism is there's just an overwhelming amount of evidence for it. Like, how come people aren't getting resurrected right now? How come, you know, God isn't creating more animals right now? How come there isn't like, these things going on? So that's
That's
what I
not
mean about
evidence for
evidence is what
atheism.
I can see.
That's an argument from silence. That's fallacious by nature.
Oh, okay. I, I didn't, I didn't know. I'll have to do more research on, uh, you said evidence by silence?
No, no, that's an argument for silence. So basically, you're saying I don't see or hear things, though here's a conclusion, right?
Um, Gotcha, gotcha. You're saying if I don't see or hear it, but if it's in the other room, I'm not going to see or hear it, but it's still there.
No, no. All I'm saying is you can't make an argument based off what you don't see. Like there's certain points where arguments of silence can work. For example, um, you know, uh, actually I can't even think of an example at the moment. It's something to do with like an elephant on a quad is how they used it. But I don't remember how it works.
Gotcha.
But basically, you can't make arguments based off the information you don't have. You have to make arguments off information you do have. Now, you could say something along the lines of like, if God was real, we would expect to see these certain things. We do not see these certain things, so therefore it's less likely that he is real. Well, in the idea of the Christian God, well, people being resurrected, this has only happened a few times, and it was meant to point to Christ. So we shouldn't expect to see it happening left, right, and center.
Gotcha. Well, I mentioned a few other things like, there's no, when Christians or at least creationists say, like, oh, how come we don't see evolution happening today, even though there's evidence of like microevolution with like bacteria from what I hear. Um, but like, well, how come God isn't making new animals?
Why does he have to?
No, yeah. Then so that was my question: is why isn't he?
But you're
If he
making the
could.
you're making the argument that you should be doing it, right? And you should be creating
Well,
new
no, no,
animals and new creations.
mm, no. I'm not saying should. I'm saying why isn't? Like, for instance, if you claim, or if a creationist claims that God created
Hmm.
the universe and animals, how come it's not happening today?
Okay. Have you ever jumped off a diving board?
Yeah, yeah, like into a pool. Yeah,
Okay. How come you're not jumping off a diving board right now?
because I'm not in a pool, but it sounds fun.
But how come you're not doing it right this second?
Well, because I have work in a little while, so I have I cannot.
Okay, you never jumped off a diving board then.
No, I have.
No, you haven't,
You're
because you're
saying
not
like
doing it now. You're not doing it now, so therefore you've never done it.
Oh, I see your argument. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah. This is why I don't know. I really appreciate the conversation. I really do.
No problem, man. I'm
But
glad your internet finally got to work. Are you getting feedback
yeah.
of your own voice, by the way?
Feedback. I'm not so sure. I hear you okay from my end.
But are you hearing yourself by chance?
No, not currently.
Awesome, perfect, great. I was worried that might have been an issue, so.
Yep. Well, I mean, look. I appreciate your time. I kind of don't really have any more points than that. I'm glad that you listened to the points that I brought up, and I appreciate the conversation.
No problem, man. God bless.
Thank you.
All right, guys, smash the like button, share live, do what you need to do to make sure we get out to the people who we need out to get out to. Today's topics: there's no good reason to be a Muslim, no good reason to be atheist. Prove me wrong when to taco. You can join at tinyurl.com/BJS guest. Password 12345. We love TikTok shop. We love TikTok shop. We love TikTok shop. We're not driving people off of your app, TikTok. We're just bringing in guests that way because your app sucks. All right, let's bring in a guest. Oh, it's the homie, Modern Atheism. What's up, bro?
Hi, what's up?
What's up?
Good, good, and you?
Oh, living life, man. How you been?
Yeah, good, thank you.
All right, what do you want to argue about?
So, yeah, it just seemed like you needed a caller at the beginning, so so I decided to get in.
Well, we
So
got
I had
a
a-
queue. We got a queue now, so I appreciate it. But if you have a topic, let's talk about it.
No, yeah, but so I had maybe, I just heard myself a little bit, but okay, it's not a lot.
Is it
Not a lot.
annoying or an issue?
No, right
No?
now it's great.
Okay.
But just like a second, okay.
Okay.
So I have something that maybe it's a bit like original. I just made I came up with this. It's like unrealistic parts of the Gospels. Like not like most atheists always bring up the same contradictions, So I
Yep.
wanted to look at different things. And maybe I
You
came up
wanted to
with
be new and
different-
special.
Yeah. So maybe I don't know. These are not so strong. They're just like a bit unrealistic,
Okay.
So the first one is the whole episode of the cleansing of the temple. How
Yeah.
Jesus went into the temple and through the tables with money, with the people with the money changers and the merchants, and expelled them from the temple. And there is one part, one of the gospels says that he forbade people from doing further business. Like it almost implies that he stayed there for a while and forbidding people. Okay, and I'm like, think about Richard Carrier has a part in his book. I qualified the quote. I will take, but he says that this is super unrealistic because usually, look, this is where people have their money. These are money changers. There are people sitting there at the tables with their goods and with their bags of money. You think there's not going to be like any wars around, or that they are not going to have swords? Like Richard Carey said that if someone tried to do something like this, it will immediately be violence, and the guards will take him. They will maybe even kill him on the spot. You know what I mean? What do
Yeah.
you think of this?
Yeah, I think that's not including the influence that Jesus had. Part of the reasons that the Pharisees didn't take him on the spot all the time is because they were worried about the crowd, right?
Right, the crowd.
Yeah.
They
So
love
like
Jesus.
so for example, when they were trying to get him on the coin, right? Jesus answered in a good. They were trying to get him to show like hypocrisy to the crowd, and they got him in a good way. Or I don't remember if it's a coin, but there was a point where it specifically says they feared the crowd, right? Where Jesus is
Really?
performing miracles, answering questions, and it says because they were afraid of the crowd, they didn't do anything. And so I think there's something to say about the influence that Jesus had in his community. Well, okay, yeah, if he's doing these things, and depends on which reading you take, right? If you take the reading in John, where it's the first temple, this might not be as strong of an argument. But if you take in the Synoptics, where it's later on in the where it does the cleansing, I actually kind of changed my viewpoint. I do think there was 2 cleansings that happen now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Remember, I asked you
Yeah.
that one time. Do you watch Spanish Philosophy's video?
I did watch that, but I also read into it as well, and I actually think there is good arguments to say there's 2 cleansings, but that's a different conversation. But let's say it's the second cleansing, right? I think there's a good argument to say that Jesus had really good influence in the culture and community. Like that was his whole point, is that people were growing and following him, and the Pharisees and Sadducees were scared of what was happening. So if he's there in the temple and he has this huge following and he's telling people, don't do these things, do these things, flipping tables, that they might not be so inclined to attack him. And I think there's reason to think this if we consider what happened with Archelaus and the temple, right? There was a whole bunch of conflict that happened there. Even though the Jews went against Roman rule, Archelaus was rebuked for unaliving them, and he was never allowed to be made king for all the things that happened in this situation because of the cultural influence.
Right. So, but if he had, though, if he had such a great standing with the community, then he will simply have to ask the merchants nicely to leave their what they were doing, and they will do so, right?
The merchants weren't in good standing, are them?
So he had a good standing with the community, except with the merchants.
Well, that's the whole point, is that there is a group of people that are against Jesus and a group of people that are for Jesus. But if it's the people who are against Jesus go try to take him, what do you think the people that are for Jesus are going to do, right? This is what Peter does. As soon as they try to take Jesus, what does Peter do? He lops off their ear.
Yeah. That's funny, because that's another one of my unrealistic parts. This is a funny one a bit. It's a bit of a joke one. It's not so strong, but imagine I just swing at a guy with just word. Think about it. What are the odds that you're gonna slice off the ear? I mean, I think you are gonna hit him in the head and unalive him, or you're gonna miss. The odds that you actually hit the ear are kind of very small. But this is the kind of thing that you will. This is exactly the kind of thing you will see in a movie, like a cool thing, like bam, slice this ear off.
No, I think he aimed for his head and missed.
No, but he hit the but he sliced. He missed in a cool way, in an action movie kind of way, where he slices off the ear, and then Jesus gets to do a cool scene when he heals it. It's a bit of it's not that. It was kind of unlikely thing to happen.
Yeah, but that stuff like that does happen, right? Like people
Sure.
have like been in like we've seen it where people are like at war and they get shot and it hit the Holy Bible they had in their pocket.
Yeah.
Like, so that stuff like that does happen.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay. So another thing is the issue of the Judas betrayal. Okay. Now when you bring up the community stuff, it may make more sense. But I'm like, did they really need, again, having one of the good guys betray the protagonist is another classic literature or movie move. Why did they need to pay Judas to arrest him? It wasn't, couldn't they get someone to follow him? Couldn't you just arrest him at some point at daytime or so, or follow him? Maybe you gave a bit of an explanation when you say that the crowds could have prevented this if they arrest him like at the day when he's doing miracles.
Hold on, I didn't hear the second part, but I want to address the movie thing real quick, and then I'll get you to repeat that because for some reason I lost you. So real quick, I think you're making this like false equivalency where you're saying all these actions that are happening in the Bible are like movies. I actually say it's the other way around. All these movies that are happening are like the Bible, right? Because I think the stories that happen in the Bible, it's the perfect story. And so therefore every movie that comes after it has to draw from that, because you can't get better than the story that's in the Bible.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure the truth, the general...
What was your second point though? I again apologize.
I'm not sure that the general truth of one of the guys betraying the protagonist, it comes from the Bible. I wouldn't go as far as to say that. I mean, do you think that?
I didn't say it came from the Bible. I'm just saying it's the perfect story.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. No, what I said is that why did they have to pay Judas? I don't see the need to pay Judas to arrest him. They could arrest him like he was super public. They could arrest him like any time. They could just go and arrest him, right? I don't. Why do they need to pay Judas?
Just 1 second.
Trump was aimed to be shot in the head, and the guy got his ear. Modern day scenario, is that unrealistic? It happened on 4K.
It's a good point.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason that it had to be Judas is because they didn't arrest Jesus in public. They arrested him in private, and they would have to find out where he was in the private settings to arrest him. Because it's not like they had satellites and cell phones where they could track people back then. They'd have to know where Jesus was. And so they used Judas to find Jesus in a private setting to arrest him.
Okay, sure, okay. But if they were okay, maybe. But if they were so afraid of the crowds, Jesus commanded, like, how did they crucify him? They could have just had some soldier stab him in the back, instead of going to a trial and crucify him, because it will be having too dangerous to crucify him, because the chances of a crowd rioting will be very big in that scenario.
Because of public politics, most likely. They have this person going around claiming to be the Messiah. They didn't want some like martyr figure that just kind of like vanished and like, oh my God, what did you do in the background? They wanted to put it on display and show that this person was not the Messiah, was not who he claimed he was, and wanted everybody to see it.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad. Maybe that's not a bad response, I think. Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's make another thing. About this trial and the release of Barabbas. Some historians have said that there is no real evidence for this practice. Like the Jews releasing a prisoner, they have said, Bart Ehrman has said that there is no real good evidence for this, like specifically, and that it seems a bit unrealistic that they will release someone like Barabbas, insurrection and murderer, specifically someone like him will never get something like a pardon from the Roman. We have some very general evidence of pardons, stuff like that, in different contexts. But someone like Barabbas, he says, so some people who say that this is very unrealistic.
Yeah, that's not true, because Josephus had 3 people who were crucified pardoned by pleading to Caesar about it. And those people were taken off the cross and pardoned for the crimes. 2 of them died, 1 of them survived. So it does happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, sure, there are general pardons. One will have to look at the case-by-case basis, like what happened at this. Of course, there are general examples of people being pardoned in all of history, of course. That we can find some at some point, but it's like the specific thing that like the gospel specifically say that there's a tradition that every Passover, a prisoner gets released, and that's why they say that there is no one mentions this. Actually, Josephus doesn't mention this specific practice, and neither does another historian, I think.
Yeah, that's just an argument from silence, right? Because most of the things that we learn from history comes from either singular or dual sources. We don't have like 20 sources of things being mentioned in history. So just simply saying we don't see it is silly, because we do see it. It's in the Gospels, and we do see that people get pardoned in special circumstances all the time. So why would we say that this is a scenario that would not happen or is highly unlikely?
No. The 2 things. First, I think Josephus, in his super extensive writing, would have probably written about this kind of thing. I don't know. And second is a murderer and insurrection guy. I don't think that's the guy who will get a pardon. I won't have to look at the cases of which kind of people got a pardon, but specifically that guy.
But again, it's just an argument from silence, because you're just saying, I think he should mention it. Yet again, I go back to Pompeii, right? There's no mention of the destruction of Pompeii. But even though we have Secular the Younger talking about earthquakes happening in the Pompeii, nobody mentions that Pompeii is completely destroyed afterwards. So why would we assume that Josephus would write about this tradition?
Yeah. Okay, sure. But actually, you bring up Pompeii a lot. I think I actually found one. Who mentions Pompeii. I will have to send it to you maybe at some point. I think it's Celsius or Cassius. I don't know. I forget, but I don't have it off the top of my head. But I think I may have found one.
The general thing is, when I bring up Pompeii, everybody gets like rolls their eyes and gets mad at me and says, Pliny the Younger mentions it. Pliny the Younger mentions it. Except he doesn't. Yeah. He mentions the destruction of a city. Yeah. He never mentions it by name. And people just assume he's talking about Pompeii.
Yeah, he mentions the volcano, but not the specific city, right? But I think I found another guy.
There is another guy who mentions it 300 years later.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, well, sure. Okay, but then if the guy mentioned it 300 years later, somebody must have mentioned it at that point, but it later got lost to us, right? Because otherwise, how would he know?
Yeah, or they just found it. But either way, even if somebody did mention it, that just shows that things get lost in history all the time. So it could very well be possible that it was written down by Josephus, or it was written down by other historians, and it was just lost in history.
Yeah. Okay. So what else I have? For example, Luke says that Jesus hung out with the disciples like 40 days after the resurrection, right? You know that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, wouldn't the authorities try to arrest him again, because they will think like, okay, he must have pulled some kind of trick to escape crucifixion, or we made a mistake, and then they will try to rearrest him. But there is nothing like they don't, I don't know, like they don't care, you know. Why
I don't
didn't
know.
they try to arrest him again?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was, well, the sentence was done.
No, but no, man, they
So-
cannot say that. I mean, if they see him alive, they cannot say, "Oh, we already crucified once." That technically his sentence is done. You know, they're not gonna say that. They're gonna
Didn't that
say,
happen with people
Yeah.
being electrocuted? Like they get electrocuted and they didn't actually end up dying, and
I
they go,
don't
"Well,
know.
the sentence was completed, so they released them." I think that's happened,
Yeah.
but
No,
it
I
could
don't
very
know.
well be that, or it could just be the fact that they just didn't believe them. Like Jesus
No,
wasn't
I-
going.
yeah.
Jesus was showing himself to his followers and his believers. He was also vanishing and reappearing and doing like crazy mystical things at this point. So I don't know.
Right.
There's missing information there.
Okay. But then like, okay, so only his followers and disciples managed to see him, right? I mean, like, okay, that's convenient, right? So it wasn't like, you know, so nobody could fact check this, for example, if they say, oh, Jesus is risen, but only we can see it, you know, that's like, okay, how nobody will have been able to fact check any of this.
Well, I
you
don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like there's a
Okay.
lot of there's missing information. We have to remember that, you know, even John says that if we wrote down everything that Jesus did, we'd have books going up to the moon, right?
Right.
So it's just getting the important aspects down. It could be they were trying to arrest him again. We don't know.
Yeah, okay. What else? We have, for example, the way Luke presents the first appearance is kind of weird. I mean, it's just weird. Like they didn't recognize him at first, and he was there. You know, don't you find this weird? How could this happen? Did he change shape? Was he wearing a mask? You know, how could it possibly happen, right? It's
Have
weird.
you never ran into somebody you knew and didn't recognize?
Not after, yeah, but I have never had a 1 hour of dinner with him, and only after 1 hour of dinner recognize, oh, that's the person I know, you know.
Yeah, it was probably because Jesus didn't want it to be revealed at that point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's using magic, must have been using some kind of magic, not to hide his face, or do what, to influence the minds of the disciples somehow. If you want to, you don't wait. If we don't want to say something like immature by saying he changed his face, right? But somehow it must mean that it's weird, right?
It's not magic if he's God.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, a miracle.
Yeah, I don't see, like, because if Jesus, Abby makes a good point. If Jesus is God, we would expect him to be able to do these things. If he's not God, we wouldn't be able to expect it. So it's kind of like, if I agree with you, then it disproves all the religion. You agree with me, it proves all the religion. It's kind of one of those begging the question questions.
Yeah, sure. We will expect some miracles from God, obviously, but not weird stuff, miracles, right? So
Well,
yeah, some miracles. yeah, but
that's
not
just
weird.
armchair psychology, right? Like, if God wanted to turn me into a purple pillow right now, that'd be weird, but he could do it. And who am I to say
Yeah.
he couldn't?
Yeah, sure. Of course he could. But if I had to pick between two things, one say God healed me, and the other say he turned people into a purple pillow, I think I'm gonna pick the first one and consider the other one even less likely because of the weird aspect of it.
And in all honesty, if I was God, I would show up in someone's house, turn him into a purple pillow, and turn him back and say, "No one will ever believe you," and vanish. That's what I would do.
Yeah, sure, maybe. I don't know. Okay, I have just a couple of. I have just two more.
Sure.
One is, for example, one part in the Gospels where people say that his family, Jesus' family, did not believe him and thought he was crazy. But here's the thing: how could Mary? You know, Mary had a visit from an angel telling her that Jesus was God. You know, and she also had the virgin birth, so she knew Jesus was like very special. So how is it possible that she later doesn't believe him? You know, actually, I had Richard Carrier in my channel recently, and we discussed this.
You
For
talked to
example,
Richard
that this
Carrier?
is-
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it was really cool.
I don't know why I'm assuming that Mary didn't believe.
No, because the gospel says his family didn't believe him and they thought he was crazy.
Yeah,
You
but
remember that part, maybe?
But if I tell you right now that my family doesn't believe me, is that the totality of every person in my family,
Yeah,
or is it
that's-
just like a
okay,
consensus
okay.
viewpoint?
Yeah, that's a good point. It doesn't necessarily say Mary, right?
Yeah.
but presumably, but, by the way, it also doesn't say James either, but people like Gary Habermas use this sentence to say that James was a skeptic and later converted. Okay, but there's another point.
Yeah, because
But
it
I would say
specifically
that-
mentions his brothers and sisters.
Yeah, but again, the totality, we can still do the same thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't specifically mention his mother, right? So
Right,
that's
right.
like that's a reason you can make that argument, because it says his brothers and sisters.
Sure.
Specifically uses those words, or if you want to
Yeah.
use the Orthodox kind of viewpoint, it talks about cousins, using those kind of words. But that's why you can throw James into that category. Now, it might be one brother and still believed him and it was James. Sure, I could grant that. It really wouldn't change a whole lot of my viewpoint, but it's also church tradition that James was not a believer.
Right. Okay. Yeah. But what I wanted to say is Mary will presumably have told the other people about the angel, for example. So I mean, like, how come they not believe him?
She probably did, man. Like, listen, have you never seen a mom talking to their kids about like some crazy conspiracy things, and the kids are like, "Okay, mom, okay, you just eat your Doritos and enjoy your alien shows."
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay. There is one last. Okay, the last one is when Judas goes to return the money at the temple, and he gives him he throws it at the floor, and the priests don't take it because they say, "Oh, this is blood money, and we cannot put it back in the treasury." There is something, or maybe there is something I don't get here, or I don't know. It's like, why would that be blood money if Jesus was a legitimate criminal and had been tried legitimately? It wasn't like unalive in a criminal way, so it wouldn't be blood money. Judas would have been actually like
It's
a
still
guy
blood money.
turning on,
Even if it's justified, it's still blood money. It's still used to shed blood.
I just because I searched it up in Google. What is blood money? And it specifically applies only to like murder. It's not like a legal execution is not considered blood money. Actually, it specifically says like when you pay someone to unalive someone else.
Yeah,
like
but
in a criminal.
you're assuming that our modern sense of that understanding was the same to them, right? Like to them,
No,
it could very well be any money that's used to unalive people wouldn't be going to like listen, man, you wouldn't be allowed to go into the temple if you just touched a woman who had her period that day. So like, I don't see an issue with them saying we're not going to allow money back in the temple that was used to crucify a criminal.
Yeah. Okay. The thing one will have to look at what exactly counted as blood money law. The thing is, I searched it up in Google, and not modern blood money. I searched up what do ancient Jews saw specifically as blood money, and I only found a reference to a criminal like unaliving, not this specific thing. But okay, that's just that.
You just said a reference to criminal unaliving.
Yeah.
He was a criminal.
When someone pays a person to unalive someone else, like blood money is like paying a hitman,
That's they paid Judas to unalive Jesus.
Yeah, but no, he was, but it was a perfectly legal thing because he was a known criminal.
Where does it say it have to be legal or illegal?
In the things
it actually wasn't a legal thing. Remember, because there was the temple guard that went and arrested him. The temple guard had no authority to do that, and so that's why they had to bring him to Rome, and they had to do it in secret.
See, it wasn't. I don't think from their perspective it was an illegal. It was an illegal thing. What they did was the trial. I'm not sure they will see it that way. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think those were like most of all things I had for now.
All right, man. So you gonna be a Christian yet, or what?
Yeah, not yet. Maybe later.
Maybe later. All right. Well, let me know when you do.
Okay, man.
All right. God bless, bro.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
Peace. Peace. All right. Let's bring up the next guest. Tanya, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Yeah, how old are you? All right, let me bring you in. All right, no good reason to be Muslim, no good reason to be atheist. Prove me wrong, win a taco. Go ahead.
Right. So, truthfully, I think these conversations are a bit silly. So I'm not trying to convince you, and I'm probably not going to get convinced today. I just have a
Okay, you got
specific
you got a
point I
lot
want
of
to.
you got a lot of wind in your background.
Hold on. Give me a sec. Is that any better?
Yep.
Okay, so the question is no good reason to be atheist, right?
Yep.
And while I don't necessarily say now, I'm not going to necessarily argue that there's no good reason to be a Christian. I think that there is a good reason to be an atheist, simply because you mentioned evidence earlier being the probability that something is true, right?
Yep. Evidence
Correct?
raises the
Hello?
probability of something being true.
Yes. Yeah. Under that definition, uh, everything we know about Christianity, I cannot go out today and observe these truths. Okay, I can read up on history, but I can't go and confirm it myself. I can confirm the laws of physics, terminal velocity, laws of thermodynamics. I can go and confirm those today.
Are those
I can.
specifically atheistic viewpoints?
No, not necessarily. However,
Okay.
since the since since if you're Christian, you believe that Jesus worked miracles, right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem comes that so I can either believe what I can physically observe, which has the probability of being true, or I believe that these things that I know to be true no matter what were broken. Because
What?
why?
What are you talking? How is this an argument for atheism?
No, it's not. It's just that because if I was to believe in it's an argument. If I was to believe in Jesus, I
Who
would have
cares?
believed
Who
he
cares
did.
about Jesus? What does this have to do with atheism?
I would. I would have to. I would have to believe that he did supernatural things.
Right. I
That
don't feel like you heard what I said. Why do you keep bringing up Jesus? What does this have to do with atheism?
but it doesn't necessarily have to do with atheism. It's just that Christianity and even Islam.
Well,
Uh,
you said there's good reasons to be atheists.
well, I think that's a good reason to reject Christianity and Islam. And at that point, I mean, you
Well,
can look at
okay, so
other
do you
religions.
concede that there's no good reason to be atheist?
Well, depends. Well, if not Christianity and not Islam, what religion would you say is reasonable to believe in? If, let's talk in process of elimination. Like, if not Christianity, because you have to believe in something
Well,
that is
I could simply
that
just
breaks the
say,
laws of
if not
physics.
atheism, why not one of these other religions? Like you can't just
Atheism,
assume that you're the default,
atheism,
right?
well, no, atheism is the rejection of a god, right? It's the rejection of, of a mind, right?
Is it a belief
That's what.
system?
Yes, I would say so,
Okay. So why is it the default?
because we can observe the things that we can observe. Atheism is proof that there isn't a god, right? And at its absolute baseline, it's either there's either the things we can observe, the physical truths that we can observe in today's world, or the alternatives are, well, with Islam and Christianity, things that break those physical truths that we can observe. So
I'm still waiting for the argument for atheism.
the argument that I guess the argument is that there's more reason to believe in atheism than there would be Christianity and Islam.
Like what? What are the reasons to believe in atheism?
The fact that a God couldn't possibly, hold on, give me a second. My full screen here. The fact that atheism, can we define atheism here?
Yeah, so the definition of atheism is the belief that there are no gods.
Okay, and so as far as the problem is like there are trillions might be an exaggeration. There are lots and lots of different belief systems, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, all sorts of stuff, yeah. But atheism is atheism is the rejection that can exist, right? And a lot of the reasons are that a mind couldn't have created the universe. We can go into God. We can go into the idea of God not being a mind, but I feel like at some point, if I'm disproving every single religion, it's like right now I'm pointing out just that Christianity and Islam are worse than atheism, as far as not necessarily in I believe, but as
Okay, so
far as
are there good reasons to be atheist?
I would say so, yes.
What are they?
The fact that everything the physical world that I observe is true. I know
Are
the
those
evidence for the
specific
things
to
that I observe,
atheism?
not necessarily,
Okay, so then why is that an argument for atheism?
because they are an argument against God.
I'm sorry?
Because they are an argument against God.
Like what?
Well, in the Christianity and Islam sense, the fact that it would go against the laws of physics for these things to be true.
Like what?
The laws of physics.
You're just doing a vague reference to the ether, right? So, and you're also referencing specific religions. If you had a deist type god, then he wouldn't go against these so-called laws of physics. So it's not an argument for atheism, is it?
I guess not.
So what's the argument for atheism?
Truthfully, I'm agnostic, so I can't specifically say. Though I'm agnostic, so I can't specifically say. It's just I don't think the argument for Islam or Christianity are strong, but I guess that's my fault for misreading the question here.
And there's no good arguments for atheism then either.
I'm still deciding, I guess, but yeah.
Okay. So if you concede the point that there's no good points for atheism, then I will be more than happy to defend and say yes, there are valid reasons to be Christian.
Do I have as far as I mentioned with the physical, right?
I'm sorry?
Like the laws as far as I mentioned with like the laws of physics, right?
Yeah, so the laws of physics, are they descriptive or prescriptive?
Descriptive.
I'm sorry?
Descriptive.
They're descriptive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so things don't go against the laws of physics. They update our understanding.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't say this goes against the laws of physics.
Well, they go against our understanding of such.
And if we learned that the resurrection actually happens, we would just update our understanding, correct?
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, so simply saying this goes against our current understanding is bad science.
But that's all right. So that's the science we have now, though, right? And it's the science that I can observe today. So
Yeah.
so now, if I
Okay.
can see this stuff,
Explain to
if
me
I can see
quantum.
stuff,
Okay, fine. Explain to me quantum entanglement then.
I can't explain to you quantum entanglement.
Exactly. No one can because it defies our understanding of the laws of physics, yet somehow it works.
Yeah. So I can observe quantum entanglement. It works. I can observe that, but I can't observe the things said in the Bible or the Quran.
Completely irrelevant to what I was saying. Because you're just saying it goes against our understanding of laws of physics, so therefore it can't be true. So does quantum entanglement, yet it's true.
No, but we can observe quantum entanglement.
That's fine. But I'm just saying your original argument doesn't hold up, right?
Not really, because we can't observe the miracles of the Quran and the Bible.
So if something goes against the laws of physics, does that prove or disprove it?
Well, if something goes against the laws of physics, then we would update our knowledge of the laws of physics. Problem
Okay,
is, we can't.
cool.
We
So
don't.
just because Jesus goes against our understanding of the laws of physics doesn't disprove it, does it?
All right. If I say I can create energy out of nothing, if I can create energy out of nothing, you can't observe that right now, can you? You just have to. Let's say I have
You're
a
not answering
trillion.
my
Let's
question.
say well, I am.
No,
If
you're not.
if
You're
you have a
actually
trillion.
shifting. You're shifting. You're answering
All
my
right.
question with a question.
Repeat the question for me then. Just repeat the question for me.
But then that also shows me you weren't listening. If I have to repeat it,
Well, no, I just
because
want
if you say to me I am answering your question, and then 2 seconds later say repeat your question, Do you know what my question was?
Look, well, I've forgotten now. Repeat it, please.
Right. So my question is, just because Jesus goes against our current understanding of the laws of physics doesn't disprove it, does it?
No, it doesn't disprove it. But then you question the source, which is how I was going to answer the question. If I say that I can create energy out of nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and I have sources and people to back me up, okay, you can't confirm or deny that my sources are true or false. You can believe. You can't observe. You can't observe that I can create energy out of nothing. You can believe. You can believe all you want, but you as a person cannot observe that
You're just
change
making
in me.
vague references to like I can or cannot do it. Like why would I be inclined to believe
No,
you? Why would I be inclined to disbelieve you? Just off the bat, I'm going to say the probability is extremely low, but I wouldn't say it's zero.
okay, but no, you can. The problem isn't you believe in me or not believe me. The problem is the fact that you can't. The fact that someone can't observe it and is a reason to disbelieve the preachings of the Quran and the Bible, because you can't, you can observe any of the laws of physics today, but you can't observe me creating energy out of nothing. You can't observe the things Jesus said.
Okay. So do you believe anything in history?
Oh yeah, I believe some stuff in history
Why?
because well they don't go against anything I know, and the evidence for them is pretty reasonable.
But you said you have to be able to observe it. You
No,
didn't observe anything that
no.
happened in history.
All right. Well, I don't believe things happened in history that go against the things I can observe today.
Yeah. So basically, you're doing what's called the principle of analogy, which is unscientific, because that means that if we had 20 billion documents, all from history, all said they all witnessed Jesus Christ resurrect, you would have to deny it.
Well, yeah, if you don't observe that people resurrect, then you would assume something else is up because everything else
Right.
suggests that can't happen.
Right. So if you see 20 billion individual documents from 20 billion different people throughout history that all attested to seeing Jesus Christ resurrect and it has no contradictions, you would deny it?
Yeah, because
Yeah. You
it's
understand
not
how
something
ridiculous that is?
no, but because it violates the laws of physics, right?
You
It
cannot
violates
violate
what
the
we
law
know
of
of them.
physics.
It
You just
violates what
went.
we
See, this is
it
usually when I
violates
kick
what
you, but I don't want to be called a kicker and runner anymore because you just went full circle to the very first thing that we first agreed on. We already made a
it
consensus viewpoint that you cannot violate the laws of physics, and then you just went full circle
it
and said it
violates what we
again.
observe of it defies our observation of them.
So again, we
You know,
just
and
went full circle where we
our
just went full
observation can be
circle.
wrong.
So we went full circle, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm asking the chat, can I kick him? Do I have permission or will I be running? Because it's literally the
The
very first
observation
thing that
can
we already moved past.
the observation can be wrong, but that is a reason for somebody to reject Christianity, say, because that observation, everything I observe today,
Okay. All right, bro.
just
My
just because
friend,
people.
you've been voted off the island, but I do appreciate your time and appreciate coming up and I appreciate you being civil.
Right, thank you. Bye.
All right, God bless, man. And that's usually when I kick people. As soon as somebody goes very full, like, listen, if we're having a conversation and we've conceded a certain point and we've moved past that point, and then we're continuing on, and then all of a sudden go right back to the very first point that we made, as if we didn't already concede that point, then it's time to move on because they're not updating their knowledge as they move in the conversation. Not doing it. All right, I got to use the washroom, so Abby's going to entertain you with hand puppets.
I can't even do hand puppets.
Well, then it's going to be a very unentertaining show, is it?
I can do a bunny. John can actually do some pretty decent hand puppets. He can do like a dog. And something else that I don't remember. Hello, everybody. I have not done a question time in a while. I think John should do a hand puppet for you when he gets back. Although I guess there's not that many so much light. John did not show me the notes for tonight. I don't know anything right now. I don't know anything that's happening. But I did have it in my notes that he's going live with you so that he didn't forget. So I feel like that's a wife win.
Always forget to plug in this light.
My hair is not red. It maybe has some red undertones, but
Let's do some super chats. I haven't done those in a bit. Now that I got the new system, I'm just forgetting about them. Thanks for the cone. Thanks for the heart. Thanks for the thing. Thanks for the heart. Perenum came in with $5. Says Jehovah's Witnesses are not Christian, so I'd say they're equally as likely. Thanks for the heart. Christ's life came in $2. Hey, Miss Abby, nice. Oh, hey, Mrs. Abby, nice stream. Oh, hi, John. Kidding. I get it. Modern Break came in $20. Oh, we already did that one. Yeah, that was pretty wild. His ear got shot off. That was a very valid point. John would never forget about me. Who are you? Who are you again? All right, let's bring up another guest. All of a sudden, I'm not getting my talk. Hopefully humble. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Okay, let me bring you in. All right, no good reason to be Muslim, no good reason to be atheist. Prove me wrong, win a taco. Go ahead.
Okay. I've never actually come on a live before.
Well, welcome.
So, yeah, I'm not sure what to expect, but I'm a Muslim.
Okay.
And I saw your title. I do believe there's a good reason to be Muslim.
Okay, what is it?
All right. Islam is the only belief that has ever addressed a very important issue, and that's the need for perfection. So when I say perfection, I mean there is perfection, and it is unique, and it only comes from God. There's nothing else that has that. The only things that can be called perfect are things that God himself has created. And
So
that's
hold on. Isn't everything created by God?
That's what I'm saying.
So then
So
everything
those
is perfect.
things, the things that he created.
Well, so hold on, but then everything is perfect?
Allow me to complete my.
I just need you to answer the question. Is everything perfect?
Okay, I need to finish what I'm saying so that you can understand what you need me to
But
answer.
you can continue. I just need you to answer. It's called a clarifying question. Anytime you're having a conversation or a debate, somebody says something, you need to ask a clarifying question. You interrupt them. You ask a clarifying question. They answer the clarifying question, and then they continue with what they're saying. So is everything perfect?
Everything is perfect, even in their imperfections. You want me to clarify that?
Yeah, clarify, because that's an oxymoron.
Okay. Well, let's go and explain that. So I am a human being. I was created by God.
Mm-hmm.
God is perfect. He created me perfectly with my imperfections. So my imperfections is actually part of my perfection. Does that make sense?
No, it's a contradiction.
Not really. If you think about it.
Yeah,
the fact that I'm created.
It breaks. I'll explain why it's a contradiction. It breaks the law of excluded middle. Something cannot both be true and false at the same time. You're saying it's both true that it's perfect, but also true that it's imperfect. That okay. Breaks the law of excluded middle.
I don't really abide to those laws that man created.
So you don't abide to the laws of logic?
No, I don't abide to the laws that man explained to themselves. So when we sit down and we come up with... Can
you have a square round room?
No, I don't want to go there. I just want to allow myself to finish what I'm saying.
No, well, I'm sorry. You don't
okay,
get
if you don't want me to, It's okay if you don't want me to. That's
you
fine.
don't get to, but what I'm saying is we can have a conversation, but you don't get to just decide what you do and do not want to talk about.
Okay, that's fine. That's why I stopped myself. Yeah.
So yeah, okay, cool. So can you have a square round room?
No, you can't.
But you just said you don't adhere to the laws of logic.
No, I don't adhere to our understanding of these laws. So our understanding in itself.
That is
imperfect.
the law of non-contradiction.
But that's the thing. I just want to if you allow me to explain, then maybe you'll understand what I mean better. So essentially, as a human being, I am imperfect. So everything I understand is subject to that imperfection. So as human, even though we observe the creation, the conclusions that we come to in themselves because of who we are will also be imperfect. So we cannot rely on our in order to explain the unseen, we cannot rely on our understanding completely. We can only, use it as a tool to reach a certain conclusion, but we cannot 100% say.
Okay, are you not using your reasoning to understand this?
Yes, my reasoning is being used, but like I said,
but you just told us we cannot rely on that.
You see the title of my name?
Hopefully humble.
That's right. So I don't claim to be humble. I didn't want to say humble because I don't even know if I'm humble. Neither do you.
Okay, but what I'm saying is you're using your reasoning to come to this conclusion that you cannot trust your reasoning. Do you see the contradiction there?
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said that my understanding, being humble, means that even if I think I understand something, I'm open to the fact that my understanding might also be wrong. And that's what allows people to grow, right?
Right, but the thing is you're saying that God can break the laws of logic because we can't understand it, but you're using your understanding to understand that God can break the laws of logic.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Okay, then what are you saying? Because that sounds exactly like what you're saying.
Our understanding has to always be subject to a possibility of us being wrong. So when we come up with the law of this and the law of that, there is a possibility that our understanding of these laws that we've observed are wrong.
That's fine. Perfect. But you can't just simply hold on. You can't just simply say that we could be wrong, so therefore I don't need to take your information as true. You need to give me a reason to deny it.
No, that's the thing. I didn't actually give you a reason because I didn't actually make my argument yet in regards to the need for perfection.
Well, when I said that breaks the law of non-contradiction, or sorry, the law of excluded middle, when you're saying that we are both perfect and imperfect, right? Something cannot be both true and false at the same time. You say, I don't adhere to man's understanding of logic. And then you just use your own understanding.
I didn't say the word logic. You said
that is what logic is, right? So
I understand.
You said, I don't adhere to man's understanding of that. So you have to give me a reason to reject it outside of just saying, I don't want to.
No, it's not. I didn't say I don't want to. I just said that the fact that
I'm not using verbatim words of what you're saying. I'm giving the consensus idea behind it.
But the words do matter, though, right? If you explain what I'm saying and it doesn't match
words
what
do matter.
What I meant, I have to.
Okay. Do you hold to the law of excluded middle?
I don't understand that law, and I don't believe that law is necessary for people to understand.
Okay. Can something both be true and false at the same time?
No.
Okay, so then you hold to the law of excluded middle.
Again, that law that you keep citing, first of all, I've never even heard about it. I'm going to be humble and say that. I'm going to try to be humble and say that. I've never heard that word that you keep uttering. All I know is that it doesn't require these complicated terms. God has made himself known through revelation in very, very simple ways so that even the layman can understand them. So there's no need to go into that.
So I'm going to explain the issue. You think that things cannot be true and false at the same time, yet you said that God made us perfect and imperfect. So it is both true that we're perfect, but also false that we're perfect. So something is true and false.
That's not what I said. I said he made us perfect
with our imperfections. Right, which means that we are not perfect.
Are you perfect?
No.
Okay, so did he create us perfectly, though?
Did he create us perfectly?
Yes.
Depends on how you're defining the word perfect.
Is his creation of us perfect? Meaning
no.
Complete. No, I didn't say am I perfect. I'm saying
I'm saying creation is not perfect.
Well, that's the thing. He created us purposely the way we are. So
I don't think so. I do not think we were made perfect. It also depends on how you're using the word perfect.
Okay. So I guess we can move on from that topic if you want.
No, we can't move on because you're just saying that God can... Hold on. You're upset about me about not
Oh, I'm not
allowing you
upset
to
at
make a
all. I
point,
really
but
am
you're
not.
you're not letting
I'm not
me make
upset
any
at all.
points. So again, you're saying that God made us both perfect and imperfect. That
No,
breaks that law that something can be true
that's
and
not
false
what I
at the
said.
same. What are you saying?
I'm saying that our imperfection is part of who we are.
If we have imperfections, are we perfect?
Our creation is perfect with our
That's not the
imperfections.
question I asked you. If we have imperfections, are we perfect?
Yes.
That's the law of non-contradiction. If it has an imperfection, it is not perfect.
It's an intended imperfection.
Doesn't matter if it's intended.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. When we become, let's say, okay, I pray to God that I enter his paradise. At that moment, when I do enter, if God allows me to, at that point, will I be a different creation than I am today?
If you're Christian, yes.
Okay, let's I disagree with that, but let's say you're a Christian, okay? You enter a place after the afterlife, and the creation that you are at that point, will it be exactly the same as the one that you are in this life now?
No.
What will be the difference between your creation in the afterlife and your creation now?
We will be made perfect.
Exactly. So my point,
We are not made perfect now.
that's the thing. Right now, for our situation now, okay,
Well, I don't even know if we're going to be made perfect. We're just going to have a glorified body.
We were purposely made the way we are today. And when I say purposely, I mean it was not an accident. It was not something that was unattended.
Sure.
It's not something that happened beyond.
Yeah, just because
God's
it's
power.
intentional doesn't mean it's perfect.
Okay, so now I guess
Can you
we agree.
just define perfect for me?
No, I don't want to define it because I don't know.
What do you mean? Your whole argument is based off this, and you don't even know what the word
I
means.
understand. Okay, let me humbly explain to you why I can't explain it to you. Okay, because I'm not.
Well, no,
I'm not
hold on. That's not humble. Humble is not making an argument based off words you don't have the definition for. That would be
okay.
humble.
Perfect. I'm going to try to be humble right now and tell you that I'm not well versed in the art of debating. So I don't know the rules. I don't understand that you're supposed to ask me to clarify things.
You don't understand that you're supposed to know the definition of the word that you're using in an argument?
No, I'm saying I don't understand that I'm supposed to be asked when something is not clear, like you clarified.
Wait. Your whole argument is based off the definition of word perfect, and you don't understand that in argument you need to know what the definition of the word that you're using is?
No, see, that's the thing. Before you asked me to clarify something, and you explained to me that in the rules of debating,
it's not a rule of debating. This is a rule of conversation.
But that's what you said. No, you said the rules of debating specifically. But you said
you said the rules of debating. I never said that. You brought it up.
You said that earlier when you interrupted me and asked me for clarification on a topic that I had.
Oh yes, I did. Yeah, in that situation.
You said to me that you interrupt and you ask for clarification. I was not aware of that. I was not aware that in the debate, you're allowed to ask for clarification, and I have to actually offer it to you before we move on. I didn't know that. See, that's the type of thing that I didn't know. So there's a lot of rules about debating that I won't know.
But this isn't a rule of debate. This is a rule of life. I don't use words that I don't know the definition for.
We're still using a structure of debate because there's oftentimes...
No, listen. Hold on. You think it's a normal idea to walk around and use words you don't know the definition for?
I know the definition of it, but I don't know the textual definition. So now
I don't need a type. I just need your definition of the word perfect. How are you using the word perfect here?
Okay, perfect is without flaw.
Okay, so if something is without flaw and has flaw, is it perfect?
Well, that's the thing. The fact that we are flawed is our perfection.
So then your definition isn't by definition what it's supposed to be.
Okay, so I believe that our creation is perfect in the way that it is because it was intended that we would be flawed.
Sounds like you're just using the word perfect as God intended.
Yeah, okay, so let's use that instead. Is that okay?
Yes, then if it's what God intended, then everything is perfect. Nothing has imperfection.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to get at. Maybe you kind of put it in better words than I have.
No, that's not what you meant. It's just like now it makes sense.
No,
to you,
you
so
can't
you're
tell me what I
use
meant. I'm sorry.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay,
I can observe how you're operating in conversation. I can observe how you're operating in a conversation and see what your rhetorical goal is.
again, rhetorical.
Okay.
What I meant
So how's
is
this?
what you
How?
expressed with
Okay.
your words right now aligns
Okay.
with what I meant.
Okay. So everything is the way that God intended it to be.
Perfect.
How does that prove Islam?
Okay. Again, I'm not going to say that that proves Islam. What I'm saying is that God is Allah is the religion of Islam is the only religion that presents that as its mode of identifying the truth.
So
For instance, if we look at the situation with Jesus, let's bring up Jesus, okay? Me and you never saw Jesus face to face, but there is a group of people who have, right? Correct?
yeah, I'm waiting for the argument.
Okay, but if I ask you to say correct, it's for a reason, right? It's okay. I need you confirmed it?
Yes, people saw Jesus.
Okay, so people saw Jesus. The people who saw Jesus know exactly what he looks like, right?
Okay.
All right. So now let's go into our human imperfection. Okay.
We
Now
don't have
there's
imperfection.
Yeah. So there's a group of people now.
No. Hold on. You can't say we
Why am
have
I holding on?
imperfection. We just conceded that there is no such thing as an imperfection.
Yeah, but I'm not going back to the exact conversation we had before. I'm actually.
But that is the
presenting
point.
something new.
Hold on. When we agree on a certain topic and we move to the next topic, we need to continue as if we still agree on the first topic. And you just went right back to the very first topic as if we disagree. The consensus that you and I hold on. The consensus. Hold on. Please let me finish. The consensus that you and I had at the first topic is that everything that God made was perfect. So by definition, there is nothing that isn't perfect.
No, I actually agreed with the second way that you described it. You said everything is created as intended. I prefer that.
Right. So then by definition, there is nothing that's imperfect.
Okay, but I just said the word perfect. I didn't actually.
You said that Jesus and his imperfections.
No, I said let's go back to Jesus, and I mentioned how people have seen him before, and those people who have seen him before know exactly what he looked like, and now
including his imperfections.
But we're not talking about that.
That's what you said.
Yeah, but I didn't finish what I'm saying. So
doesn't matter if you finished it. You already admitted that there's no such thing as an imperfection, and then you brought up imperfections again. Do you understand why this creates a problem?
Am I allowed to say the word imperfection in this conversation at all again?
No, because you admitted there's no such thing.
But in my explanation, the word imperfection will come up again.
Then your definition of imperfection is incorrect, and we need to go back to that.
Okay, so I will omit using the word imperfection if that's okay with you. And I will continue with what I'm trying to say.
Are you just going to use a synonymous word rather?
No, I'm going to try my best not to use the word imperfection because it's often like just bringing up the word seems to mean that I'm going back to what we were talking about.
It does, because you admitted there's no such thing as imperfections, and then you said that Jesus had imperfections, which means there is such thing as imperfections.
Jesus had imperfections. I didn't say that at all.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we human beings right now have our idea of who Jesus is, okay? And through history, we have actually shown and proven that our being human beings have made so many mistakes in regards to even the way he looked. So if you look at history and the way that Jesus now looks, it's not a good testimony as to what he actually looked like.
What does this have to do with anything?
Well, I'm getting there. If you don't want me to go, I can stop. I mean,
but just what does this have to do with how Islam is true?
I'm basically presenting the issue with human beings manipulating text.
But what does this have to do with proving Islam?
This is why I'm getting there. If you don't want me to go there, just tell me.
Well, I just need you to get there.
I am getting there, so
all right.
Please allow me. Okay, so our inability to fairly represent the truth of who Jesus was is reflected in our inability to represent even little things like how he looked. If we are unable to be truthful about how he looked, why would we not believe that we are able to be unable? Sorry, I have to put my words together here. If we're unable to be honest in the way that he looked, what makes us think that we are, as a human race, able to be honest in the way that the things that he said?
What does this have to do with Islam?
That's why I presented the perfection, which is from God. There's a
Again,
need
what
for
does
it.
this have to do with Islam?
Okay, revelation has to be perfect. It cannot be flawed at all. It cannot be influenced by humans.
You already said that there's nothing out there that's imperfect. So
No,
nothing is imperfect.
Revelation has to be perfect.
No,
is
now
what I'm
you're
saying.
changing your standard of definition of perfect again.
No.
And also if it's what
Revelation-
also if it's what hold on. Also if it's
Revelation coming
hold
from a
on,
perfect God
hold
will be
on.
perfect.
I've let you talk for like an hour. Let me speak. All right, so if your issue is that Jesus, we didn't know what he looked like, what does Muhammad look like?
We don't know, and we don't claim to know. We have a description, but we never make images of him. We purposely
Oh my
avoid doing
gosh.
that.
All right, Chad, can I kick her?
purposely
Are you
avoid
for real?
we purposely avoid making images of anything actually in Islam.
Your
Check-
problem
We're
is
not allowed.
art.
We're not allowed to make images at all.
Well,
Ines, if you
we're-
saw the movie the Message, which I'm not sure you have, but do you know that we never actually show Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in
Your
that
problem is art.
All right. I apologize. You've been voted off the island. But God bless
movie? Okay,
you.
no
and have a
problem.
great
No
day.
problem. Thank you.
My gosh.
Was that even an argument? I don't even know, bro. All right, let's bring in the next guest. Oh, somebody asked something earlier. Question: any affordable headset recommendation? Yes, this one. The Sony MDR 7506 is extremely affordable. It's designed for mixing and mastering. It's got a very flat bass line to it, and it's extremely comfortable because it's meant to be worn for long hours. It's an extremely good headset for its price. Yeah, if you're going to want better, you're going to have to spend a lot more. Modern Brain came at $5, says, this girl was listening to Kendrick Lamar before this live. I don't get it. All right, let's bring in a guest. Mm-hmm. Stan, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Good, man. All right, let me bring you in. All right, there's no good reason to be Muslim, no good reason to be atheist. Prove me wrong, win a taco. Go ahead.
So first of all, I'm also a believer. Wait, I hear myself. Oh, okay, it's all right.
I'm sorry?
And God bless your ministry. I really recently I had a discussion with my atheist friends, and I wanted to, and I've seen that my weak points are in the problem of evil. Could you
Right. I
can
want to
ask-
keep I want to keep the chat open for disagreeers if that's okay.
Okay, then no worries. Another
Right, man.
time.
Appreciate you. God bless.
God bless.
Mm-hmm. Disagreeers only, guys. Please and thank you. Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should do a question day sometime.
But then I'd have to talk to Christians.
They're not all bad.
Jacob, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Jacob. Yeah, how old are you? All right, let me bring you in. All right, man. No good reason to be Muslim. No good reason to be atheist. Prove me wrong. Win a taco. Go ahead.
I just got into the belief that like Muslims, Jewish, Christians are all like Abrahamic religion, and if you sit there and gotta not believe in one, you gotta not believe in the others at the same time,
No, how does that
because they all
follow?
believe in God.
So
Oh, I'm just saying. You saying your proof. What you're trying to argue is that don't believe in Muslims. Well, Muslims have their own truth and beliefs, and denying their beliefs is denying God. So, which means you're denying Christians, and you're also denying being Jewish,
How does that logically follow?
because they're all Abrahamic religion. They all follow Abraham.
So
That's all I'm just pointing out.
but you're not pointing out anything.
Just because they have the same
I'm-
characters.
I'm just saying, like, if you're going along with history, pointing out history at one point. So if you're denying the history of one track, you're also denying the history of the
Okay.
other two tracks.
Cool. All right. So Christianity says that Jesus Christ was crucified. Islam says it never happened. Which one's true?
I can honestly sit there and say it's whatever your belief is in.
Well, you said if I deny one, I have to deny them all.
Well, you got to deny the history, because they also sit there and say you're
Hold
going
on.
back all the way back to the Old
Hold
Testament.
on. You
and
said
you're denying the Old
if I
Testament.
deny one, I have to deny them all. Islam says that Jesus Christ was never crucified. Christianity says he was crucified. Which one do I deny? And does that not make me automatically deny them all?
Well, the Jewish sit there and says there was no Jesus Christ was just basically a nice
Right.
guy too. But
Yeah.
they sit there and they
So
they
then again,
mention him, but
if
they don't
I
they don't
deny-
say he was the true Messiah.
Right. So using your logic, if I either have to accept all those things, which would be a contradiction, or I have to pick one. And if I pick one, I deny the others, which makes it all false.
But if you go through the history, they
Just
all
answer the
follow the same
question.
path. They go with it.
Just
They go
answer the
with
question.
the answer to your question is whatever the faith of that you grew up in and that you believe in.
You're still not answering my question.
They answer your question. I'm
You said you're
Christian. I go with
46.
I'm Christian. I go with Jesus, but I don't deny and try to force other to believe my path.
You're
either.
still not answering my question.
I did. I
No,
just
you're
said I'm
not.
Christian. I believe in Jesus. That's answering your question, sir.
Okay, so if you believe in Jesus, then you deny Islam's, and based off your definition, you
Mhm.
deny them all because they're all Abrahamic.
No, I just said I don't choose my belief to force other people to believe what I
That's
believe.
completely
you-
irrelevant to
you
what I was
can't-
saying.
You have to deny Islam.
No, he's just saying you have to prove to deny Islam. He sat there and saying that he denies Islam. I'm saying I don't deny Islam.
You have to if you're a Christian.
Is Jesus the way, the truth, and the
No,
life? No one gets
I
to
don't
him except...
have to.
Oh, yes,
Just
hold on.
like being-
hold on,
Sorry.
Jacob. Is Jesus the way, the truth, and the life, and no one gets to him except through the Father? No one gets to the Father except through him?
That's my belief, but my belief isn't other people's belief.
Okay, does Islam
There's
also
people,
believe
there's
with that?
people that are Buddhist.
Jacob,
You-
Jacob. Does Islam also believe that?
I don't know all the tech.
The answer is no.
I know
The
that
answer
they
it's
have-
actually it's the answer in Islam is if you actually believe that, you're going to hell.
But I'm just also.
So which one
all
is
I'm saying is
true?
I just choose not
Jacob,
to influence
Jacob,
my
which one
belief
is
on
true?
others.
Is it true that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, or is it true that he's not the way, the truth, and the life? Which one?
For my belief, yes.
Okay, so then you deny Islam.
And I don't deny Islam because they have their own belief.
You
like
just told
Buddhism. I
just
don't
told me
deny-
what
They
they
can't
believe.
I
both be
don't-
true.
You just told me that
I-
that one was false.
I'm sorry, sir. She's speaking in the background. Sometimes I'm trying to inject her.
Are you saying women aren't
conversation
allowed to speak? Are you Islam?
No. I didn't say women are not allowed to speak. I'm saying the conversations between me and you, and she's just interrupting.
Yeah.
Is that not true?
No, it's not. Anyways.
So the conversation between all
is
three.
Jesus
So
the
it's
way,
the
the truth, and
conversation between. So it's the conversation between all three of us then.
yes. Now, is Jesus the way, the truth,
All
and the
right.
life?
Are you sit there and denying that because Islam sit there and goes back to Abrahamic religion? You deny Islam. You deny
Is
Abraham.
Jesus the
which
way,
means
the
you're
truth,
not-
and the
which
life?
You are denying God. Now,
Is
that
Jesus
true?
is Jesus
You
the way,
deny
the truth?
Abraham. Because you're denying Abraham. You're
Is
denying God.
is Jesus the way, the truth, and the life?
You denying Abraham. You denying God.
If I deny Abraham, no, that's not the case. So, anyways,
Oh,
is Jesus the
but
way,
you
the truth,
are.
and the life?
You are, because you're denying Muslims. You're denying the Jewish faith. you're
Is
denying the
Jesus
Abrahamic
the way,
religion,
the truth,
which
and the
goes back
life?
to the Old Testament. You are denying the Old Testament. You are denying God.
Jacob, is Jesus the way, the truth, and the life?
Is God? God is the way.
Is Jesus the way, the truth,
God
and the
is-
life?
God is the way to sit there and to get into heaven.
So when Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one gets to the Father except through me, you deny that or accept it?
You can go out the Old Testament too. Go out the
All
Old
right,
Testament.
Jacob.
There's other ways, other paths to get to
Chat,
God besides just Jesus.
chat. He's refusing to answer the question. So can I kick him?
Go ahead. You can do it, but I'm just sitting there pointing out they're all Abrahamic religion.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I was doing.
They contradict each other, so they can't all be true.
I
right,
didn't say
That's
that.
how
I'm just
You've
saying
been
the
voted
freedom
off
of
the
beliefs of
island,
whatever
Jacob.
you believe.
God bless.
You can believe whatever you believe. It doesn't mean you're right.
He's gone, Abby.
I don't care. Anyway, pray for him because he's not a Christian. Nice Jesus.
Mm-hmm. What time is it? Okay, let's do another one. Guys, smash the like button, share live, do the things you need to do. If you want to join the conversation, you can join at tinyurl.com/BJS password 12345, or you can do the multi-guest button on TikTok, but you will probably be bottom of the list if you go on TikTok. Palal, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? I hear you great. All right, let me bring you in. All right, no good reason to be Muslim, no good reason to be atheist. Prove me wrong, Winataco. Go ahead.
Just first of all, sorry for my bad English. It's not my prime language. I just wanted to tell you, I'm atheist because I think there are no good reason to believe in God. I don't think it's wrong to believe in God, but I think there is no logical and scientific reason to believe in God. And therefore, I think that a lot of people used religion through time in order to manipulate most people and take advantage from them.
These are just claims, not an argument. What's the argument for atheism?
I can't prove that God doesn't exist, but he doesn't exist until proven. That's how it works. I can't prove you the non-existence of something.
Okay, so 1,000 years ago, Pluto didn't exist?
No. It didn't exist until it's proven.
Okay, so
it's
1,000 years ago, Pluto didn't exist.
Until it was proven, yes.
Yeah, so you're saying it did not exist until it was proven.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so literally almost everything that does exist doesn't exist. So can you give me the definition of existence then?
What I'm trying to tell you is
I need the definition of existence here.
I can't really define you something that exists, something that you can.
You can't define the word. Why are you using the word in your argument?
Because because I'm trying to tell you how the scientific research works.
If you can't define the word, why are you using the word in your argument?
Imagine if I told you, prove me unicorns doesn't exist, and if you can't, that means
you're answering my question with a question. Why are you using a word in your argument that you don't know what the definition is?
Because I know the definition, but it is hard to explain it.
Give me the definition. Give me the explanation. How are you using the word existence here? Because you're saying things do not exist until we have knowledge of it, and then it does exist. So it seems that you're saying that knowledge is causation, which creates philosophical problems.
No, it's not exactly what I meant. What I meant is to our point of view as humans, a thing doesn't exist until it is proven. That doesn't mean that
then you're saying knowledge is causation, which creates problems.
No. Please, it's because it's difficult for me to speak, but I don't mean that the thing doesn't literally exist. Just we do not have the knowledge of it, so we assume it doesn't exist until it is proven that it doesn't exist. Does this make sense?
That's a terrible way to operate in the world, because if you assume things do not exist before you have evidence of it, then you would have no reason to ever seek it out and find evidence for it.
Okay, can I give you an example?
Go for it.
It will be easier. If I told you that unicorns, I believe in unicorns and I think they are real, and then when you tell me that this is stupid, I tell you, okay, prove me they don't exist.
Yeah, sure, no
You can't
problem.
do that. You
Yeah, I
can't
can.
do that.
I actually can. So we understand that unicorns don't exist because we understand the culture and the context and where the mythos derived from. So we can say the likelihood is very low. We also know the ontology of a unicorn and how it operates and what we'd expect to see in the world if unicorns existed. So can I say it's an absolute zero? No, we can't say absolute zero about anything. But I could say the probability of unicorns is extremely low considering the data that we have.
Yeah, I agree, but it's not zero, and that's the problem. You can't.
Nothing is zero. Nothing is 100%. Can you give me anything that's 100% proven or 100% disproven?
2 plus 2 equals 4.
Okay, prove it.
But you take 2 apple, and I give you 2 more apple. You have 4 apple.
That's a visual representation of the words you said.
So you think 2 plus 2 equals 4 is not 100% true?
I didn't say that. I'm asking you to prove it.
But I just did. What more can I do?
Exactly. You can't do more. You have to use math to prove math, which by definition is circular. So it's not proven. It's axiomatic. So axiomatic things are things that are just granted without evidence. There is no evidence for mathematics. It's not proven.
Yeah, but your problem is you are asking for me to prove to you that God doesn't exist, but I literally can't do that. I firmly believe that God
you can.
doesn't exist.
Yes, you
but
can.
no,
You can
no, I
prove
can't.
that.
You can't prove the
Yes, you can.
non-existence of something
Yes,
because
you can.
if you try to prove the
Yes, you
non-existence of, can you just finish 30 seconds? I swear.
You can, right? You create a logical contradiction in it, right?
No,
You show
no,
there's
no,
a logical, if there's a logical contradiction in that, then it cannot be true. That's one way. You can also give the probability for a different hypothesis to be more likely, and then Occam's razor would show that the other hypothesis is more likely than the God hypothesis. That'd be another way to disprove it.
Bro, but in science, it doesn't work like that. You
That
can't
is the scientific
prove.
method.
No, I can assure you it's not.
I can assure you it is.
You can't prove the non-existence of something. It doesn't exist. No
Yes. So
scientist.
I'll show you how. I'll show you how it works in science, right? How does
Show me,
gravity?
show me.
Yeah. How does gravity work in science?
How does gravity work? It's like the space-time is bending through mass.
Yeah, absolutely. Space-time is bending through mass. That is the best. That is the best hypothesis considering all the data. Is it possible that it's magic pixies pushing things closer together?
Could be. We doesn't
Right.
exactly.
It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
But there
Yes.
isn't data or reason to assume that. So I can't disprove it's not fairies. But I'd say because we have a good amount of data that says it's mass pushing space-time together, that the best hypothesis is that that's what gravity is. So if you give me a better hypothesis that shows that God cannot exist, that it's logically impossible, that we have more explanatory power through a non-God idea, then that would
Yeah, but-
disprove God.
But what you just did is not proving the non-existence of the little fairies. You just
Define
tell me
proof.
that you just tell me that it's stupid. to
Define
think
proof.
it is, sorry, can you repeat?
Define proof.
Proof that God doesn't exist?
Define the word proof.
I didn't use proof in my.
You
in
just
my
said
last
that.
sentence.
You literally just said the word proof.
At what moment?
You said you can't fully disprove that it's fairies. I'm asking you to define the word proof.
A proof is the demonstration.
A proof is a demonstration?
Yeah, like in math.
Right. So if I can demonstrate that gravity is the mass pushing on space-time, that has a better hypothesis than fairies. So then it's more likely that fairies do not exist. So therefore it's been proven that it's
Yes.
math pushing space-time, right?
No, it's exactly what you say. It's more likely, but it's not proof. You
Okay,
can't
so then
prove,
define proof.
because every time you will try to prove me the non-existence of something, I can always, no matter what the
Can
subject
you
is, I
define
can
the
always
word
tell,
proof?
I can always tell You didn't
Can
search
you
enough.
define the word proof?
No, I cannot.
Okay, then stop using it.
Okay, I won't.
Right. If you can't define the word, don't use it in your argument. So, is that fair?
I mean, I think that's it. I just wanted to tell you that no real scientist in the world can prove the non-existence of something. It's
You just
impossible.
used.
It
You
doesn't
just said
work.
you wouldn't use the word, and then 2 seconds later you used it again
Yeah, because I just wanted to
because you don't know
finish
what
on
the
the.
word means.
I just wanted to finish on that. I don't really have anything else to say.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. God bless.
Thank you. Bye bye.
You know what that reminded me of when you said thank you, bye bye. Hello. How did it go?
Big summer blowout.
What's it?
From Frozen.
Yeah.
Big summer blowout. Yoo-hoo.
Yeah, that guy. That's what it reminded me of. All right, let's bring in another guest. If you guys want to join, tinyurl.com/BJS guest. Mm-hmm. Woohoo!
Yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo! Sean, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? All right, man, let me bring you in. All right, no good reason to be Muslim, no good reason to be atheist. Prove me wrong when in taco. Go ahead.
Hi, John. Hi, Abby. Yeah, so it's not coming from a religious standpoint, but it's more coming from the fact to be an atheist or an agnostic in this day and age could actually hold benefits, what you probably wouldn't get if you were if you come across as religious, through like possibly like depending where you're. Like I'm based in the UK, and so for instance, going for job interviews, we'll use that. It can actually hold you back. It's not just the styling of the company, but it could have like it's like an air within the
Wait,
actual
wait,
culture of
you're
itself.
allowed to ask somebody's religion in a job interview in the UK?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so that's just a terrible place to live then. Not that it's beneficial to be atheist. It's that you live under like a terrible dictatorship.
That doesn't. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
horrible.
correct. Totally correct, man. Yeah, 1000%. But like, it's still it's the fact's still relevant. Though. I mean, like, it's like it actually has benefits to come across as somebody that
Yeah,
is atheist or agnostic.
yeah. So it'd have
So
benefits to LARP, not to actually believe it.
yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
So yeah, I mean, like, I mean that was just like a viewpoint. I don't know if anybody's mentioned or not, but like, yeah. So it's not coming from a religious standpoint because obviously it doesn't really hold any benefits. Being confused and like not aware of your surroundings or your belief system or anything like that is just detrimental to your health, really realistically. But coming from the viewpoint of actually needing it to justify, like, to benefit from, getting on with your life. It can
Yeah,
it can be
That's
beneficial in certain parts of the world. It's
right.
mental.
It could create beneficials to LARP, but not to actually believe it to be true.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah,
that's a. I
definitely,
don't think
man.
that's a
Like,
good.
yeah.
So when I'm saying no good reason, I'm talking about like actually being it, not pretending.
Yeah, oh no, actually being it is definitely going to be detrimental to yourself. You know what I mean? Like to be confused and to actually like to challenge everything, but to come from a standpoint where you don't actually understand anything and you're just stonewalling everybody because you've been raised to believe that way. To actually to not actually question
I have
anything
no
and
idea
just to
what you're arguing for anymore.
no, neither do I. I was just trying to point out. I was just trying to point out that it does have some relevancy to be that way, you know.
What
But
do
no,
you
totally,
believe?
no. I think being agnostic and or being like that way is just no. Yeah, no, definitely, man. I'll leave it at that.
All right.
Thanks for your time.
All
Yeah,
right. God bless.
yeah. God bless, man. See you later.
I got
What a nice
$5 for the
guy.
person who accurately guesses what he believes.
I
'Cause
think.
have no clue.
I think he was agnostic. I think that's what he said there.
Uh,
I think he thinks it's dumb to not believe anything, but
Fair. Eric came in with $2. Says Islam is not Abrahamic. That was wild, man. Patrick L came in $4.99. I think there needs to be a new rule. If they make Abby frustrated or angry, they need to be kicked. They would be kicked all the time. Abby's really frustrated. Most conversations we're having, she's just better at composing herself than me. And then Ryan came in $5, says bacon, yum. Bacon is delicious. Could you imagine not having bacon in your life? Christ's Life came in $2, says Mormonism is Abrahamic if Islam is. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, guys. You're not wrong. Or did my I didn't even see if my Patreon came out today, or the I posted on Patreon today. I want to see if it posted.
Oh, I think I saw it did.
It did post? Okay.
Because I think I got an email about it on your email.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That, by the way, it's a quick reminder that we're doing a daily Bible study on Patreon, so you guys should definitely be a part of that. Go watch that. Links in the thing. I have no guests, by the way. That's all my guests. So if you guys disagree with me, if you think there's a good reason to be Muslim or a good reason to be atheist, you can join at tinyurl.com/BJS guest, password 12345. I'm new here, but you did look annoyed. I always look annoyed. Apparently, I just have resting douche face. Doesn't matter what I'm feeling. I will always just look like I'm annoyed with the world. Most people, when they meet me, they think I hate them. Like, they just walk up and it's just like, how's your day, John? And I just look at them like, John hates me. But that's just my face. Apparently, and I remember I did door-to-door sales once, and they had to do a meeting with me because apparently I was really bad at like making people feel comfortable, especially when I had to take them out on the field and teach them how to do the sales. So one of the things my boss told me I had to do was raise my eyebrows, because apparently I look less frustrated and mean when my eyebrows are raised. So I just had to walk around. I walked around the office like in the look of shock all the time. It's just a raising of the eyebrows. He told me like raising eyebrows and just like you're always gonna smile. So that's what I had to do, because if I just relaxed this is just relaxed. But Christ's Life came in with $5, says, also, John, are you more financially stable now? I remember it said you were struggling for a bit. Yes, I think we are definitely more financially stable, but we're not. I don't know. I also have, because I was poor for so long in my life, I have issues with like fear of finances. But you know, we're doing all right. You know, we're paying our bills, and I think that's what's important. We're definitely not making bank. Like I said, we got a new car. That was a good thing, and we're making those payments, and we're making the mortgage payments. So, you know, life's okay. Life's okay. Not complaining. Might be a little hard here in the future because we had to take a week off. I'm gonna have to take another week off here again next month. But it is what it is. It is what it is. For anybody who's curious why, is I posted it in the Discord. I got no guests, guys. We might just call it a day. Just a couple hour live today. It's fine because we're going to be live again this evening. So it's not like you're not going to get your fix, because we're going to have more live later on tonight. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hello, I'm 25.
All right, bro. No good reason to be Muslim. No good reason to be atheist. Prove me wrong when to talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess first, like, what do you mean by no good reason?
There's nothing that's logically sound or coherent.
Logically sound or coherent, and how are you determining whether it's like logical or not?
So there's like, for example, if you gave a syllogism that had some premises, it would have to lead to a certain conclusion. I haven't heard any that leads towards atheism or Islam, either formally or informally.
Formally or informally. So this wouldn't be like more so like in the context of like a lifestyle approach, like being, well, you don't see atheism or theism as like lifestyle approaches?
There's lifestyle approaches that happen from it, but that'd be a terrible reason to believe something is true because you prefer the lifestyle.
Well, I think that that's more of what the bigger difference is, because I would suppose that you have like, do you do prayers or set up times to do prayers and go to like church settings and all these sort of things around religion?
I pray, yes.
Okay, see, so like I guess for an atheist, it would be more like they don't participate in those sort of events. So it's more of like how do you value your time or invest it?
Yeah, this is not an argument for anything.
I mean, it'd be like if you don't want to go to church and stuff, then it'd be a good reason to be an atheist.
No,
It wouldn't.
no.
So if I don't want to go to church, I wouldn't want to be an atheist.
Yeah, just because doing things because you want to isn't a good reason to believe that they're true.
If it leads to practical approach in life, I would argue it does.
You're not making an argument, though. You're just stating it.
Yeah, but I'm like just saying like there's a sort of value investment in the things that we do within our lives, and I just don't think that theism offers anything more separate than atheism, and it actually gives more like an atheist
Right, you're just
stance.
circling and saying it again. A lifestyle approach is not a good reason to believe something is true. So, for example, if I found it more beneficial and makes me more happy to unalive babies randomly as I walk past them, I shouldn't necessarily start doing that just because, you know, that is my preference.
But that would be more in the context of our society and less so like an individual stance.
What?
Because
Society
whenever you
would say that's
participate in
bad.
sort of activities, like you're not doing
Only if I get caught.
it's only if you
If I
get
don't get
caught.
caught and it makes me happy, I should do it.
If you should do it, you should do harm unto other people.
Yeah, as long as it makes me happy, right? You're just saying that you could live whatever lifestyle you want, and that's a good reason to do it, just because you want to. So if I want to just unalive random babies, that's perfectly fine. And if I don't get caught, then there's no issue. Society won't even know. Just people will just have missing babies. They'll be upset for a while. They'll get over it.
But I also don't think the lifestyle is like engaging. Like I could argue against the lifestyle easily,
How? Based off what?
based off the fact that unaliving babies isn't a good thing
Why?
because it causes a net harm to our society.
So
That's a good reason not to do it.
you're just saying it causes harm, so it causes harm. So what?
That's not good.
You
think
you
harm
literally
is
you
good?
literally said that truth is completely irrelevant as long as you're doing what you want to do.
Truth is completely irrelevant.
You said people can
No,
be
I don't think that's
Muslim.
true
It
at
doesn't
all.
matter if it's true because they want to do it.
Muslims want to do that? I don't even know that.
That's what you said.
Oh, no. Okay, look. So what I'm saying is that if you don't find value in going to like church and participating in any sort of like religious activities, that is a good reason to be atheist,
Right. So if I
right?
don't find value in participating in cultural society and not harming people, and I find more value in harming people, that'd be a good reason to do it.
Then you're just a sociopath at that point. That's kind
So
of
what's
scary.
wrong with being a sociopath?
It causes harm to our society.
So,
What the heck?
bro,
So you don't
you're
want to be
just
an
saying
active
you're just
participant in
saying
our
as long as
society.
the individual wants to do it, they can do it.
If the end
You're saying it's a
so
good
wants
reason to do it because they just want to do it.
this is hold on. But this is in the context of like religious like pretext. We're not talking about
So
some sort of
that's
harm.
special pleading
Special pleading. How's it social pleading?
because you're saying in these specific you're saying in these specific areas my rules work, but in these specific areas my rules don't.
I mean, that's how I think in general worldviews operate.
No,
There's no consistent worldview.
there's no consistent worldview.
No, I don't think that's a thing.
Okay, then you have no reason to tell me it's wrong to unalive people because I want to.
I'm telling you, like the negative consequence. I can tell you the negative consequences it can have, like from
As
whatever
long as I don't
stance you
get
like
caught,
about
there
it.
is no negative consequence for me.
For you, but again, that's just sociopathic
Who
behavior.
who
Which
do
is
I
something I
care?
don't
Why
think you
should
should
I
do.
care if there's negative consequences for other people?
Why should you care? Why should you care about other people? Because it's better for you.
If I don't get caught, how's it better for me?
If you don't get caught, how is it better for me? How is it better for you to unalive though?
How's it what?
How's it better for you to not have a baby?
Because it gives me joy.
It gives you joy.
Yes.
That's bizarre. I don't know like what you want me to argue there. Like I just disagree with that.
That's not an argument, is it?
But it is whenever I told you that there's negative consequences to it.
So what?
If look, that's a problem. I can't argue against an individual that agrees with doing that stuff. Like you didn't realize I can't rationalize.
So you're
what
right
it's
because
fair.
you're right?
I'm right because others declare it to be correct.
Well, so if I get enough people to agree with me to be right, then I'm right. Okay, chat. Am I right?
If your chat says yes, y'all are all gonna scare me.
The hypothetical.
Yes, yes. Yes.
That's concerning.
Well, you could just talk
One
about
definitely not. One says sure. Yes,
could just
yes,
talk
yes,
about
you're right, right.
history.
Yes, John's right.
There are loads of people that all agreed
Yes,
to do horrible things.
yes, yes.
Yeah, of course. That's
yeah,
that's
of
that's
course.
prevalent in history. Yeah.
Good for
We see
me.
this
Yes,
demonstration.
no. Okay. Okay. So I got enough people to say I was right. So therefore I'm right.
Well, I mean that is literally how society works, which is scary. But
Okay. So
like,
I'm right. You have no reason to tell me I'm wrong.
Well, in our current society, I could tell you that you're wrong for doing that. Yes.
I just got enough people to agree with me. You don't think I can't get more? I'll run in politics, and I bet you I can get more people to agree with me than agree
No,
with
those
you.
people are no. Those people agree with you of bad faith because no one would argue for harming other people. That's crazy, man.
That's not the argument.
It's a hypothetical.
The argument is that isn't that I should be allowed to harm other people. The argument is, what basis do you have to say I'm wrong to do so?
Because it hurts other people. Like
That's
it's
circular.
inflicting harm.
That's circular. That's fallacious by
How is
nature.
that circular? The heart, like
I'll show you how it's circular. I'll show it. It's wrong to hurt other people. Why is it wrong? Because it's wrong to hurt other people. See? Circular.
No, because it causes. Well, I just said before that it causes a net harm to our society. Like it's just not a
So
good action. to
harm
enact
is
within our
wrong because it
society.
causes harm.
Within our society, as in I'm not thinking about the individual.
It's still within society. Harm is wrong because it causes harm. It's circular.
Harm is wrong because it hurts the society. The society.
You're just using a
is
different
wrong,
word for
people that
harm.
make it
Harm and
up.
hurt are the same thing.
Harm and hurt are the same thing. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Like,
Okay, I'm just going to use your same argument. Atheism is wrong because atheism is not true.
atheism is wrong because atheism is not true.
Hmm.
I agree because I don't actually agree with atheism.
Great.
either.
Islam is wrong because Islam is not true.
True.
Everyone should be Christian because Christianity is true.
That's special pleading.
No, I'm using your same argument. If
Okay,
harm
but
is
my
wrong,
argument
if harm
also
is
says
wrong
that
because
this
it
is
causes
actually
harm,
good.
everyone should be Christian because Christianity is true.
But you have to prove that Christianity is true. You can't prove
No, I
Islam or
don't.
atheism true either.
No, I don't, because I'm just using your same argument.
Right, and my argument would actually
Harm is
totally
wrong
back
because
to
it's
prove
wrong.
either of
Or
those
sorry,
things.
harm is wrong because it causes harm. Well, you have to prove it's wrong.
Harm is- So would you need me to show you like the corpse of a dead child to like actually get the point?
No, how are you not getting this?
I'm telling you that karma has real consequence. That's like why it's
Everything
wrong.
has consequence. Sneezing has consequence. Blinking has consequence. Everything has consequence.
Right, and I'm telling you that unaliving is brought like enacting bad consequences.
So what?
It's not good reasoning.
How? You have to explain that. You can't just say it's bad because it's bad. That's circular. That's bad reasoning.
I just broke this down like to 3 levels. I don't
You
understand.
didn't
why
break
you're
it
saying
down
it's
at all. You're
circular.
literally just saying it's wrong because it's wrong. You just keep saying that over and over again.
It's wrong because it's wrong. Well, could you highlight like where the connection is that you're making that?
What?
Like the from the examples that I've given, like where you're connecting the
Why is causing harm wrong?
Because it enacts negative consequences within reality.
That's just the same words. That's just the definition of harm.
Right. It has real consequences.
So you're saying
in
harm
real
is
life.
wrong because it causes harm.
What's wrong with that? I don't understand. What
It's
the heck?
circular.
Okay, then how do you how do you establish
Okay,
that then? I'm curious.
Christianity is true because it's true.
No. Like how do you establish that harm is bad to enact within our reality yourself?
As a Christian, I say it's wrong because God
Yeah.
has made us in his image and we shouldn't go against his image.
So because we're humans, we shouldn't hurt each other.
No. How the It's taking everything for me not to cuss you out because that is not even remotely close to what I said.
Then put it more in a more simple context.
I don't know how to make it any more simple. Not without like a
You don't know
picture
how to
book.
make it more simple? So when you say like from my appearance, like what does that mean? Could you elaborate on that then?
I didn't say appearance.
Okay, then where are you getting the God element from? Where are you connecting this from?
You asked me how I ground it from a Christian worldview, right?
Right.
I don't need to prove God. I'm just saying that's how I ground it.
So you just grounded it to something that you can't prove?
Holy fuck. Jesus fucking Christ. Hold on.
John, remember that thing where you said you might start kicking for donations? Can
Yeah,
we
nobody
start
proves
here?
God. That's my point. He's
You just
grounding it in something that
somebody
isn't
just paid
reality.
$50 to kick you out, bro. God bless. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's so stupid. That's so stupid. My God. All right, I have no other guess though. I have no other guess. F-bomb? No fucking way. Who fucking swore? Who the fuck did it? Point him out. I'll get him. I'll get him. I'll ban him. Point him out. Who swore? Who swore? I'll ban him.
It was Bert.
It was Bert? Let's ban Bert. Bert. You do not look happy.
He's a good boy, though.
T did it. Ban T. Ban T. We got to get rid of him. Got to get rid of him. I'm blaspheming? How did I blaspheme? This is why making my kids take courses in logic. Absolutely. You know, that's something apparently you have to do in like a Catholic school. You have to take a logic course. They don't make you take a logic course in secular schools, but they make you take it in Christian schools. Are you there? I can't tell.
Yeah,
I clicked-
no, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, for some reason your picture is kind of like weird on my end. Yes, how old are you?
Oh, way old enough. I'll
Nope,
be
I
quick.
need an age,
and I'll
bro.
50s. I was
I don't understand because I can't see you. I got no idea who you are. Why are you so afraid to say your age?
Yeah, they're gonna dox you and find out everything about you because of your age. Gabriel came with $5. Says if people are okay with having circular reasoning, it just shows how dark the culture is right now. Was he in a stadium? I wasn't getting an echo from him.
No, neither was I.
I have one of the books of the introducing high school Catholics to formal logic. I have a friend of mine who has a couple kids. One goes to secular school. One goes to Catholic school. And this is where I learned from it because their one child understands logic and fallacies and all these types of things, and the other doesn't. I guess which one? Guess which one? Guess which one? Need apologist theologian recommendations. Richard Bauckham. Also Richard, what the heck's his name? Bauckham and the theologian. Gavin Kerr would be a good theologian too that you could look at. Who's the other guy I'm trying to think of right now? Swinburne, not Dawkins. Swinburne would be really good. John, hope you collab with God Logic. I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest. We've spoken a bit, but he's never invited me up on the show, which is perfectly fine. No feelings are hurt. If I don't fit his style, I don't fit his style. I just don't think a God Logic collab is going to happen at this point. It might one day in the future. Who knows? Who knows? All right, I got a guess. Let's bring him up. No, I don't have a guest. Who said Dawkins? Catholic schools charge tuition, and you're comparing that with a free public school. Yeah. I don't understand the contention.
Private schools are a very common thing. They're not even religious.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to pay.
IP collab. We're doing IP collab tonight. I'll be on the Inspiring Philosophies channel tonight. So you guys should watch that. We're responding to the Mind Shift video. Bro doesn't take a hint. Why tacos? Because everybody says I'll give you $200, $300, $400, $500, right? Nobody's actually going to do that, but I have no problem sending somebody a taco. Like that is not an issue. I don't know if I could stream it onto my channel. I have to look. I was thinking about that too. If I can, I will stream it on my channel as well. If I can't, it'll just be on his channel. Tacos are priceless. I don't know. I think there's a price. There's a certain amount I would pay for a taco and a certain amount I wouldn't. Yeah, DoorDash makes it easy. How am I atheist and I'm not atheist? Dude, bring me up. I was trying to compliment me. You can do it from the chat. Just say how handsome I am.
Who is it?
It's the guy who wouldn't tell me his age.
Oh.
He keeps trying to come up. He says he wants to compliment me.
That's sus.
If you could only eat one kind of food for the rest of your life, tacos. No, I'd probably actually pick wraps. Because you can get all your food groups in a wrap. And you could switch it out for a lot. It's like if you had to pick one type of food, I'm going to pick a wrap because I can have every breakfast wraps. You can have lunch wraps. You can have salad wraps. You can have. There's literally
you could
not.
Probably make a dessert wrap.
Yeah, there's literally no food that you can't have anymore. But here's the thing: if you're going to pick one food in the world, and I already know the right answer to this because Abby told me what the correct answer is. If you're going to pick one food in the world to not have calories, what food are you picking? There is only one correct answer.
I told you?
Yeah, you told me. There's only one food in the world to not have calories. What are you picking? See, pizza's pretty close. Pizza's pretty close, but that's the incorrect answer. That's the incorrect answer. Watermelon?
What?
There we go. That's the correct answer. Bread. Bread is the correct answer. Because bread encapsulates pizza, encapsulates sandwiches, burgers. Most of your calories are going to come from bread. Bread is the correct answer. That's the food you pick. To never have a calorie again, you're picking bread. And if you need extra calories, man, you can get that in your meats, right? I pick steak, infinite protein. It's a good answer. I still think bread is the correct answer, though. I still think it's the correct answer.
It gives you more options.
It gives you so many more options.
Because if you pick steak, then only when you eat steak is it calorie free.
Right. But if I pick bread, like if I choose to have a steak sandwich, right, a Philly cheesesteak, right, then I lose all the calories from the bread. And I only have it from the steak, right? Think about how much pizza you could eat. And you could load the toppings on, load them on, because most of the calories is in the bread. So you just load on the toppings and you eat that. Bread is the only correct answer. That's going to be my next debate topic, by the way. Like, if you were to pick one food, what was it going to be? What's it going to be? Funny, we relied so long on calories from bread, and now we wish it had none. That's a good point, actually. That's a really good point. The reason bread was so prominent is because we needed the calories, and we didn't have it. That's actually a valid point. That might be a wrong choice, because if we ever go into like a depression, we're going to need bread to get us by. And if bread has no calories, that's not going to get us by. Wow. Wow, you made me start thinking now. Chose to have my mom's roast beef last night. Was it good? Was it good? Bread is trash unless you're starving and need energy.
Bread is delicious. What is wrong?
I think they're talking about like health-wise. But bread's actually really healthy if done like in the ancient ways of cooking it, where you kept in your yeast and your grains and your nutrients. Potatoes all day. That's true. Potatoes is a good way to get all your nutrients and calories and your satiation. That's the poor man's food for sure. That's why we got vodka. Cheese. I don't think I eat cheese enough for to validate it. You just ate garlic bread for lunch. Now imagine if it had no calories. Yeah, store-bought lacks nutrients. Like if you get white bread from the store, it's lacking your nutrients. If you use white flour, it's going to lack a lot of your nutrients. That's the problem. But like traditionally made bread, it's going to have a lot of nutrients and be pretty good for you. That's literally what our society lived off of forever. Forever. There's no such thing as too much cheese. There's such thing. There's such thing. I mean, cheese is pretty great, and you can have a lot of cheese, but there's definitely such thing as too much cheese. No good reason to eat bread. Prove you wrong, win a taco. Best to home make it. Listen, it's one of the reasons I married Abby is I don't think I've had a store-bought baked good in like 2 years. We got homemade bagels right now. You got those homemade chocolate things. There's usually homemade bread if we want it. Like, and the best part is like I just got to look at her with big puppy dog eyes and go, "Can I have chocolate chip cookies?" And then all of a sudden, I got chocolate chip cookies.
I'm like a genie.
It's great. It's great. You mill your own wheat? That's crazy. Cheese is horrible. It makes your head itch. You're lactose intolerant then. You know what makes my head itch? These freaking arguments that we have with people. Sugar? You eat sugar? Of course I eat sugar. You heretic. Listen. There's no such thing as a bad food. Actually, I will fight people on that one. I changed the topic on that. There's no such thing as a bad food. That's a myth that people make up to try to demonize food for absolutely no reasons. Abby the genie, 110%, 110%.
So someone said that's John's second face. Your first face is resting douche face.
Second faces. Kai has chocolate chip cookies. Pickles are not bad foods. No.
He doesn't mean like bad as in it tastes bad. He means for your health.
For your health. There is no bad food for your health.
It's just about moderation.
Yep. So how much you put in? Because people like demonize sugar all the time. They're like, sugar is so bad for you. You shouldn't consume any sugar. You know what happens to you if you don't have sugar in your body? You die. You literally need sugar. You need sugar so bad that if you don't eat sugar, your body will turn your fat into sugar. Now, obviously, too much sugar is a bad thing. Processed sugar is not even bad for you. A little bit of processed sugar is not the problem. The issue with processed sugar is that you get an overabundance of sugar because you put 4 or 5 of them into your coffee, and now all of a sudden you have triple your daily intake for sugar. And that's what makes it bad for you. Processed sugar is nothing. What is some processed sugar that makes it bad? Go ahead, tell me. What makes processed sugar bad? because it just comes from it comes from the sugarcane tree plant, and it's just ground down. So how's it processed, and what makes it bad? Everything in moderation, man. If you drink too much water, you'll die from drinking too much water. Like there's literally no, listen, if it's bad for you, it's not a food. Like that's the thing. Yeah, but sugar, again, too much is the issue. If you overconsume anything, it's too much. It's going to be an issue for you. It's what your body can take, but your body needs a certain amount of sugar, and it's going to find it one way or another. That's literally the problem with like diabetes, is that it doesn't regulate sugar properly. What did you say? Hold on, missing you. Also, Dr. John Nick is almost at 12K, catching up. Dr. John Nick.
I think Dr. John
Nick is almost at. Nick's going to surpass me because everybody I know who does this always beats me. I always get surpassed at some point. That's the game. I'm there when they come up, and I'm there when they go past, and I just wave as they go by. Everything in moderation. Yeah, people hear process. What does process mean? What does unnatural mean? Oh, it's filled with chemicals. What is a chemical? Have you seen the chemical makeup of a grape? Like everything's a chemical. Cancer feeds off of it, sure. Cancer also feeds off your body too. I overdo sugar with Red Bulls. Been pre-diabetic for years. Yeah, get off the Red Bull. And again, Red Bull's not a bad food, but if you're doing Red Bull all the time, that's an issue. All right, I think we got someone.
Man.
Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
What did you say?
How old are you?
I'm 28. I just turned 28.
I'm sorry?
28.
You're 28?
Yes.
Okay, everybody's saying they got an echo from you. Hold on. Echoing like crazy. You'll have to call in on the other line, bro.
Okay, I can go out.
Because there's an echo all of a sudden now. I want to bring people in from there. So yeah, if you guys want to join, tinyurl.com/BJS guest, password 12345. I think I might start stepping away from debates at some point here soon and going into other things. The guys can't come in on TikTok. You got to come in on here. Would disproving Christianity make being Muslim or atheist right? No, not even remotely close. Not remotely close. Why? What would I do next? I would probably start doing more reaction content and just making evergreen content on YouTube. Because TikTok's got an echo. That's why. There's two TikTok updates 2 days ago. I wish you'd start teaching the Bible. I do on my Patreon. On my daily Bible studies. And I think if I was going to do debate, I want to do more formal debates, bigger platform debates with like some people who can make better arguments. And that's the way I feel, bro. What do I think of icons? I'm for them. Whether they have power, I don't know. John, you should do martial arts content. No, I don't think so. There's too many people doing like almost everybody who's gotten a blue belt in jiu-jitsu starts like a martial arts page. And there's so many people making martial arts content, and it's so hard to break out in. And like the thing is with the martial arts content, hold on. Christ Alive came in $10 says, also John, for tomorrow, if you are streaming for the Hangout, can I send 5M long playlist of Nick's YouTube shorts for you to react to on the Discord? You can send them. But I'm not doing a Hangout tomorrow because I got a meeting tomorrow with somebody. So I got a meeting tomorrow. There'll be no Hangouts. I know. I'm sorry. What was I saying? What was I talking about, Abby?
Martial arts content is too niche.
Oh yeah. It's not too niche. There's just too many people doing it. And to like have any success in martial arts content, you really got to stand out. Like the guys who are successful doing martial arts content, they're all black belts and they're all we're in the UFC or something like that. Like I'm still a purple belt and my record is atrocious. So there's that. How much is my Patreon? $4.99 to access to Hangouts, the replays of the Hangouts, and then $19.99 to get access to the daily Bible study, Hangouts, and one exclusive video a month. And the link is down below. Does Canada not celebrate Labor Day? Yeah, it is Labor Day right now. We're celebrating. Look at us. We're celebrating. I don't even know what we're celebrating. I don't even know what Labor Day is for. Are we celebrating all the people in labor? You should only kick in UFC like that one Asian lady. What? Oh, and that's another issue with martial arts content. There's so many people making martial arts content trying to like stand out and be different. Is like you'll see them jiu-jitsu moves that don't work, that look really cool on camera, but do not work at all in real life. And then people are like, oh my God, I love this. It looks so amazing. I'm going to try it in my gym because like people don't understand that that's not like a move that's going to work at all. Like, for example, we watched a video the other day of Islam tapping out Aiden Ross. And everybody was so confused on why Aiden tapped. So confused. So for those who don't know or seen the video, what happened is like Aiden Ross is like, hey, let me take your back and see where you can go from there. And of course, Aiden doesn't have any training. So he took Islam's back and Islam's like, okay, cross your feet, brother. So he crosses his feet. And then all of a sudden he's tapping and everybody's like in the chat. They're like, why is he tapping? 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 Nobody knows. This is the problem with martial arts content. No one knows that Islam Makhachev did a straight ankle lock on him, which you can do from the back if someone crosses their feet. The rule 1 in jiu-jitsu is when you start taking the back, do not cross your feet. And nobody understood that context. So martial arts content, especially with jiu-jitsu, if you do not do jiu-jitsu, it's so boring. Like if I show you like a legit proper move in jiu-jitsu and I start a content doing that, you are going to be bored out of your mind. Guaranteed. Okay, so if you grab the collar like this up here and you go here, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna flip your arm around like this, and then you're gonna squeeze. Like you're gonna be. So martial arts content, I've thought about it a lot. I think I'd more like if I was gonna do martial arts content, I would just talk about like the culture and things like that, and do like podcasts and what like other people are doing in martial arts. I think that would be more interesting. Josh, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Old? All right, man. No good reason to be Muslim. No good reason to be atheist. Prove me wrong when a taco.
It's got nothing to do with those, but it's interesting. Do you know the Jewish people? Is it the same as the?
I know who that was.
Who was it?
I'll tell you later. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Adam Muslim. Adam Muslim. Yeah, how old are you? All right, man, let me bring you in. All right, there's no good reason to be Muslim, no good reason to be atheist. Prove me wrong when a taco. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Islam makes most sense to me because any other religion makes less sense of me, and that's enough for me to choose Islam over any other religion.
Okay, Christianity makes more sense to me, so therefore Islam's false.
But that's yeah. So prove it. What do you mean? You want me to prove it to you? You're asking me to prove it to you? I can prove it to you. No problem.
Okay, prove to
But
me Islam
I
is
can
true.
show you why Christianity doesn't make sense.
Well, no, show
Right?
me why
Okay.
Islam is true.
No, see, this is the point. You're not listening very
No,
well.
that is the point of the debate. That's the point of
No,
today.
I said Islam makes more sense than Christianity and and other religion. Did I say that or not?
Yeah, so prove it.
Good. Okay. If I can show you that all other religions don't make sense, right? More than Islam. That's my claim, right?
No.
For example,
so even if you disproved all other religions, that would not prove Islam true.
no, I didn't say Islam is true. I said Islam is true for me because it makes more sense than other
Okay, then
religions.
Christianity is true for me because it makes more sense than Islam.
But I am the one who's making the claim. You're not the one debating that. I'm the one who's making the claim.
Well,
So
I'm
tell
just,
me
I'm
why
just
Islam
using,
makes more
I'm
sense.
just using,
So ask
I'm
me.
just using the same argument.
No, you're not the one providing the arguments. I am.
You haven't provided an argument. You just said I like it
Okay.
more.
Sure. So, no, I didn't say I like it. I say it makes more sense
To
because
you, you keep
other
throwing into you though. That's the part.
yeah. So the least religion, the best religion makes more sense today is Islam.
So you're saying it makes the most sense out of all the religions.
Correct. That's my
Okay.
claim. Correct. Yes.
Objectively so.
I can show you my argument. You tell me
But
no. That's not a
are
good
you making
object.
are you making that as an objective claim or as a
Oh
personal
yeah,
claim?
of course. I believe it's an objective argument. Yeah.
Okay, then go ahead.
Okay. So Islam, for example, presents a concept of God that is making more sense than most religions that I've heard. For example, I heard the Trinity, I heard the Jewish God theology, concept of God, I heard Zoroastrianism, I heard Hinduism, polytheism, and Islam prevails in the concept of God.
That's not an argument.
So that's an objective argument. Yeah. Okay.
What's the argument?
Okay. So the Islam presents a concept of God that is coherent. There is one God, one person, okay, one essence, has multiple attributes, right? It's consistent, it's coherent.
It's still not an argument. That's a definition.
Okay, tell me why it's not coherent then.
I didn't say it was incoherent. I said it's not an argument. It's a definition.
So okay, if something is coherent, is it a good reason to say it makes sense?
No.
Yes or no? So if something coherent, I cannot say something makes sense for that.
Yeah, so you can make a logically sound argument that doesn't reach its conclusion. So I can say it's coherent.
What's the conclusion?
So I can say it's coherent that Glibliglorp is the one true God because he's just the most simple God and
I never said it's one true God. I never said that.
I didn't say that you did.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right?
So
let me finish. I could say that Glibliglorp is the one true God because it just makes more sense that he loves everybody and you don't actually have to believe or do anything. He just loves you the way you are and everybody looks at paradise and that's simple.
No,
so there you go.
You didn't hear me. I didn't claim
I never said you claimed anything.
Okay, for sure. Just for the record, right? I didn't claim that Islamic God is the true God.
Didn't
correct?
claim that. You claimed that.
Good. I just said it makes sense. It makes sense to me.
I'm just saying giving a definition of a God isn't an argument.
Okay, you just said it's coherent, right?
Just because something is coherent doesn't mean it's true. Just like I gave just like I gave a coherent definition of Glibliglorp, Glibliglorp isn't true.
No, but okay. Do you know anyone who believes that? Is there a claim? Do you claim Glibliglorp is a concept of God? Then we can investigate it. Maybe I'll follow that. Maybe it makes more sense than Islam.
It doesn't matter. You're changing your methodology now because you said as long as it's coherent, it's true. Are you now changing the method?
No. If I tell you I'm attracted to the Islamic concept of God because it makes sense, not because it's true, because it makes sense. That's all.
You said it is the most logical out of all religions.
Most logical, yes.
And all you gave for an argument was the definition.
Okay. So is there a problem with the definition? Do you have a problem?
I never said that there was or wasn't, but giving a definition is not an argument.
So you agree the concept of God Islam is the best one. Okay, so what?
I never said it was the best one.
Okay, so you don't agree with it. Why you don't agree with it?
I never said that either.
See, this is the problem. You're trying to make me make the positive claim, but you're the one who also
You literally said that you were going to make the positive
I know
claim.
what you're trying to do, Mr. John Steele, but I know what you're
trying to do anything. You literally said
yes,
that
sir, I know.
You said you got mad at me and said you're trying to take the positive claim, but I'm making the positive claim right now. And now you're getting mad at me for you trying to make the positive claim?
No, I already made my point. I think it bothers you that I made some claim that it doesn't mean have to be to do with true God. It just logically sound. And you said now, yes, it doesn't mean that
you said it makes the most sense out of all religions.
Yes, and I showed you the concept of God in Islam, and I told you, is that coherent for you? So I'm asking you, do you believe that Islamic God is coherent? Yes or no?
The definition you gave does not have any logical contradictions. That does not mean it is true.
Okay, I never claimed that my claim is saying that Islamic God is true. I said Islamic God present a coherent, common sense belief, right? That is
You
acceptable
said
more
no,
than
you
others.
didn't.
That's all. That's all I said,
Listen. You
brother.
know how I can tell you're lying? Your lips are moving. So
No,
you
no,
literally
I didn't.
said, and I clarified. I
Go
clarified,
ahead.
right? I don't know why Muslims just have this inability to not lie. I clarified with you. You said it's the
Oh,
most logical religion out of all the
most
religions.
logical.
I asked you if that was what you were saying, and you said yes. Now prove
Yes,
that.
I said that. Okay. So if I said the most logical, which means I have to compare, correct? Would you agree that I have to provide you a comparison, correct? Would you agree?
I'm just waiting for an argument from anybody
Okay.
today.
So since I presented a claim that it's the most logical, therefore I'm going to present other religions, other concepts of God, and by showing those are not actually making sense or not logical, therefore Islam, right, is the most is the best one in that logic. That's it. So I'm going to tell you the Trinity. The Trinity doesn't make sense for me. It's illogical. I can show you
For
a
you,
contradiction
or
quickly.
just doesn't make sense?
No, I tell you a contradiction in it.
What's the contradiction?
Okay, first of all, when you look at the Trinity, it was not practiced by early Jews.
That's not a
God did not.
contradiction.
That's okay. What do you mean it's not contradiction?
That's not a
say that.
contradiction. Do you
Go
know?
ahead.
Give
Tell
me
me
the
why it's not
definition of a
contradiction.
contradiction.
Okay, God has to reveal Himself consistently with consistency throughout thousands of years when He started to reveal Himself. Would you agree in this statement?
No.
No. Oh my God. Okay, so we don't have common grounds, guys. He doesn't believe God has to reveal Himself, right, in the correct manner from day one. This is what you're saying, Mr. John Steele.
Yes.
Okay, so God can be 5 persons tomorrow?
You said you're talking about revelation, not talking about ontology. Which one are we talking about?
I'm saying the concept of God has to be revealed with consistency from day one. Yes or no?
No.
No? Okay. Can God be 5 persons tomorrow?
No.
So if I come with a religion and I claim it's the same God and I have 5 persons, not 3 persons, you won't follow me? Because it's incoherent. Because what? It's not consistent, correct?
So again, are we talking about revelation or ontology?
Revelation and ontology together.
Okay, ontologically speaking, God cannot change throughout any time.
Fantastic. I love that.
Through revelation, God can reveal whatever He wants at any point. And what has to happen is somebody has to negotiate their understanding of that revelation. Their negotiation of that understanding can vary.
It's non-negotiable for God to be 1 person or singular or this and change to be 3 persons and then next day is 5 persons. That's non-negotiable. That cannot happen.
I never said that.
Fantastic. So you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about. You're not even listening to what I'm saying.
John,
you're just yapping. Your lips are moving and sounds are coming out, and you're not even making any.
John, I'm not talking about dietary rules.
Just steal man on what I said.
Okay,
just tell me what my argument is.
To be honest, I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, of course you don't, because you're not listening.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not.
What does the word ontology mean?
You're talking about concept of God or
what
revelation?
Does the word ontology mean? Because you started. When I said it, you started using it. So what does it mean?
Tell me. Please teach me. Go ahead.
So you don't know what it means? You continued your argument as if you knew what it means? So you admit then you made an argument using a word you don't know what it means.
I grant you that. That is fair. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So ontology is something's nature. The nature of God does not change. The revelation of God can change.
Okay, I don't know the difference. What's the difference?
A revelation is our understanding. So as it's been revealed to us, our understanding can be updated.
Fantastic. I like that. I think I like that. So you're saying the nature of God doesn't change, but how God reveals Himself can change. Yes. That's what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. In what God reveals, He reveals His nature as well. Does God reveal His nature, His ontology, or not?
He has not revealed the totality of His ontology, no.
Okay, so tomorrow, can He reveal more about His ontology?
Yes.
Okay, which means tomorrow if today He revealed his nature as 3 persons, He can reveal Himself tomorrow as 5 persons. That's what you're saying.
It's logically possible. I don't think it's probable.
Okay, thank you. We stop here. I apologize. You just put yourself into something very. So now you're saying the God's nature is changing?
No.
Okay, so when he revealed the first time his nature, I thought that was the nature X, and now you tell me his nature is gonna be 5% tomorrow. That's not the same nature.
Not what I said.
Okay, John, I think you need to review what you said, and I don't want to even laugh at you because I like you. But what you said
You
now
can
is
laugh.
really
You're
a
just gonna
problem.
make yourself look foolish. Go ahead, laugh. Go
No
ahead.
problem, no problem. No, wallah, I'm not gonna laugh because
No, do
what
it.
you said
Do
now
it.
is a problem.
I want you to now. Go ahead, laugh. Laugh at what I said and explain why it's dumb.
Well,
Go
thank you,
ahead.
thank you for allowing me to laugh, man, because I can't move forward with this. I can't.
Okay, so
You just
tell me why I said is what I said is wrong. Go
because
ahead.
because I have a standard, an axiom. I created an axiom in my head, right?
You created
It's
an
never gonna
axiom.
change.
You created an
Yes, in my
axiom.
head, right? A
You created
standard
an
about God.
axiom.
God. Yes.
Just to be
Yeah, I
clear, just
created an axiom
hold
for
on, just to
myself.
be clear. You're gonna laugh at me for what I said, and then 2
It's a
seconds
joke.
later,
It's a joke.
hold
It's a
on, you're gonna say
joke.
you created an axiom?
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke, brother.
Oh, you're
It's a joke.
joking.
I'm
You're
just
joking. It's a
it's an
joke now.
expression,
It's a
right?
joke. An
I
expression.
have
Oh
a
yeah.
standard. I
Yeah,
have a
people say they create axioms all the time. Normal saying. Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, and the standard that I have is God never changes His nature in how He reveals Himself because He will reveal His nature anyways. So you're saying that God will change the way He reveals Himself every
No.
time?
Nope.
We can't keep track. We can't
Didn't
keep
say
track.
that.
Okay, you said God can reveal Himself as 5% tomorrow. You said
I
that.
said it's
Everybody heard you.
logically possible, but not probable.
Yeah, and it's okay, but it's not acceptable. When you say logically possible, it's not acceptable for me. That's the common
What's
ground that I cannot have
illogical about
with
it?
you. Because it's potential. God can potentially be 3 persons. Logically speaking, He can. You say it's unlikely, no problem. But
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about potentiality. If God revealed to us next week that He was actually 5 persons, there were 5 persons of God, it doesn't mean that He changed. It means He was always 5 persons. We just didn't know.
so when He says He's 3 persons, oh, you mean He didn't say I'm only 3 persons? It's just this time I'm 3 persons.
No.
But I thought He was eternally 3. I thought the Trinity is triune eternally. No.
Yes, it is.
So what's going on, Mr. John? What are you talking about, man?
The problem is you don't know how to listen. That's what's happening. He left. Left on his own. I didn't even kick him. What time is it? Okay, we'll do one more. Paul, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Yes, I can hear you. How old are you? All right, you're eating your microphone. Okay.
Now it's better?
All right, man. No good reason to be Muslim, no good reason to be atheist. Prove me wrong when a taco. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm not going to debate with you about Islam. I don't believe it more than you do. But I really wanted to ask you about a concept that started with Paul. That's why I call myself Paul. Paul claimed that there's no atonement without blood. Correct?
What does this have to do with the topics?
The topic is about becoming Christian.
The topic
Like
is there's no good
everybody.
reason to be Muslim, no good reason to be atheist.
Okay, I'm not a Muslim. I'm not an atheist.
Okay, say Muhammad's a false prophet.
What?
Say Muhammad is a false prophet.
He's a stupid prophet. The Quran
No,
is a book
say
of lies.
say Muhammad is a false prophet. Use those words.
He's a false prophet.
No.
and the
Use
Quran is a
use
book
the
of lies.
word Muhammad.
Muhammad is a false prophet.
Muhammad is a false prophet. Go ahead.
Yeah, Muhammad is a false prophet. I agree
Okay.
with you. That's not
Okay.
what I wanted to.
Okay, go ahead.
But it's about the Apostle Paul. He said that the only way to get atonement is blood. And I mean, it's not me who disagree. The Torah disagree with that. The Old Testament disagree with that because you have case which atonement was given without blood. So It's a contradiction. That's all I wanted to say.
Even if it was a contradiction, now what?
It means if it's a contradiction, first of all, Jesus never said that thing. It's Paul who said it. I'm not blaming Jesus for saying that. I'm saying Paul is contradicting the Torah. But I don't say Jesus contradict the Torah. Jesus never contradict the Torah. I'm just saying Paul is the one who started saying that the Torah, the covenant ceased to exist. The old covenant, the Old Testament is obsolete and there's a new pact. This is claimed by Paul and was never claimed by Jesus.
Okay, now what?
So what I'm saying is that the Torah is valid and the Jewish faith is valid. That's about it. And that Paul
How
never
does this
made it
disprove Jesus
obsolete.
Christ resurrected?
What?
You said the Jewish faith is valid. If the Jewish faith is valid, then Jesus Christ didn't resurrect. How is anything that you're saying disprove his resurrection?
I don't know what happened if he did resurrect or not, but it's not. But that does not give Paul the right to claim that the old covenant ceased to exist. That was made by his man.
Okay, let's say I grant your argument, which is wrong, but let's say I grant it. Now what?
So if Paul is wrong and the Torah is valid, so we can talk about more things. Like, for example, the Torah says that human sacrifice is not valid. And Jesus himself never said that he is sacrificing himself. Jesus never claimed that. I'm not trying to bash
Yes,
Jesus.
he literally did.
Well, I'm not trying to bash Jesus, but
Jesus literally says, I lay down my life and I'll raise it up again.
yeah, well, even if he said that, the Torah prohibits human sacrifice.
No, it doesn't. It prohibits other people sacrificing other people, not self-sacrifice.
Okay. I don't know. It does not affirm that. But okay. This is where we disagree, and I have nothing to add other than that.
Appreciate your time. Watching Harry Potter fans debating Lord of the Rings nerds. That's like watching atheists debate anything. Because they literally have no reason to believe anything they believe. No validation for anything. They just adhere to it. The biggest fairy tale known to mankind is the atheistic viewpoint. That is the biggest fairy tale. Easily the biggest fairy tale in the world is atheism. All right, we have no more guests, so I think I'm going to call it a day here. I think it's a good point to end it. We're going to hang out on YouTube for about 5-10 more minutes. If anybody has any more questions or anything like that, come over to YouTube. Link is, oh, it's just at Big John Steele. Links in my bio, though, as well. What is the atheist fairy tale? Well, okay, let's go through it. Morals. There are no morals under atheism. So all your guys, you're wrong or right to do or not to do things is a fairy tale. Trusting in reason or logic is complete fairy tale because there's no reason to do it based off evolution. Having rights is also a complete fairy tale. Rights aren't grounded in anything or given by anybody. It's completely arbitrary and ad hoc. It's another fairy tale. Grounding of reality in itself, complete fairy tale. The grounding of logic. Logic would be a complete fairy tale if atheism is true. So you have lots of things that are fairy tales if atheism is true. It's the biggest fairy tale known to man. All right, guys. We'll call it there for the day. Thank you all for hanging out. Please make sure you subscribe, like, do all the things you need to do. If you want to support us, support me and Abby, and support our ministry, you can do so on Patreon. Link is also in the bio down below. That's the place to do it and to keep this channel going. Without you guys keeping this channel going, we would not be here. So if you want to see these debates Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we need your money. That's just the reality of it. We send us all your money. Empty your bank accounts. Take out a student loan. You know that $50 you're going to send to your grandma so she can go out for coffee with her friend. Don't send it to her. Send it to me. Send it to me. That's what you should be doing to make sure that you get your content Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. With that being said, guys, let's do a quick prayer and then we'll end it. Our Father is in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for this blessing. Thank you for everything that you have given. Thank you for all that you provided. I ask that you guide everybody that we had a conversation with today into the truth of who you are, so they can understand where their epistemology may be wrong, and they can get the knowledge and the reality of what you can provide for them. I ask that you show us into the way of the cross, and so that we can lay down at your feet, Lord, and trust in the works that you do for us. Help us trust in you and lean into you and realize that the plans you have for our life are far better than the plans that we have for ourselves. Help us find joy in our suffering and in our pain, and knowing that it's done for a righteous or good reason. Lord, I ask that you draw everybody that's listening right now into you and into the nature of who you are. If we're wrong in what we do, correct us. But if those come against us are wrong, correct them. Forgive us of our sins. Be patient with us and give us grace. In Jesus' name, amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Hallelujah. Respect is earned, not given. Absolutely. 100%.
Don't agree with Greg right now.
Why?
Because we're fighting.
You're fighting?
Yeah.
You're fighting him? He's right, though.
No, he's not.
About respect?
Don't do this to me right now.
I love you, baby.
He's saying that because I'm married and happy about it, I'm brainwashed and have Stockholm syndrome.
You don't?
Can you please? I'm not. You're gonna hear about this later.
Okay. Crisis Life Game of $50 says, okay, I'll let my grandma die so you can prosper. Thank you very much. Gotta let natural selection takes its course, like you told me, John. I really want my grandma to live, but I'll do what you tell me, John. Thank you. Appreciate you. Good job, buddy. And appreciate you. All right, guys, everybody watching on TikTok, come over to YouTube. That's where we're going to continue. If you have any more questions, again, we're going to do 5-10 more minutes of questions, Q&A over there. That's the time to do it. God bless, and we'll see you guys all on Wednesday. Obviously yelling at me. I'm in trouble now. I'm in trouble now, guys. I did it. I messed up. Oh. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
I hear electricity going through my hands. Fine, I'll get a second mortgage, John. While you're at it, you might as well get a third one. This is by far the most annoying thing in the world. Nothing is more annoying than when someone claims that atheism is the default. We're just right because we're right. And we just don't, we lack a belief. We lack a belief. And so therefore we don't have to validate or actually prove anything. And we just get to look at you and giggle annoyingly in our superior, smug way. Look at them Christians believing in something while we're over here believing in nothing. We believe in nothing. Look at you. You actually have hope and faith in something. Oh, despicable. So despicable, these Christians. You hope your martial arts place is open? They should have an open mat. Most places do open mats on holidays. That's what I'm going to. Would I ever go on the Whatever podcast? I would love to go on the Whatever podcast. I just don't know how to get on. They only seek people who disagree with Andrew Wilson, and I don't really disagree with him on a whole lot of things. So that's all they ever want. Jimmy came in with $2. Says, God bless both of you guys. Thank you so much, Jimmy.
And he said you missed his other one.
I missed one? Oh, yeah. Christ of Life came in $5. Says, come to Islam. We deny the creator, the dictionary, history, our own sources, and logic itself. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Come to Islam where you don't need any logic at all. At all. Did we miss this one?
Which one?
Oh yeah, no, that was when you kicked someone.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
No,
now.
but Jimmy sent $2. That's the one you missed.
I don't see it.
Oh, well, it just says God bless
Oh,
you
here
and
it
your
is,
wife,
yeah.
bro. Jesus be with you both.
Yeah, I see it there. Thank you so much, Jimmy. I apologize. I missed it. Gets lost in the blue. Everything is blue on the super chats. Everything is blue. Do you have any really good sources for explaining the existence of evil argument? Evil doesn't exist. It's a privation of good. Stop bringing up my donations. My wallet is already crying. It's not crying enough.
That's why he's mad.
That's why he's what?
Greg is mad because women are too promiscuous. That his marriages didn't work out.
His marriage didn't work out?
Both. I don't know. He said. I think he had multiple.
He had multiple marriages and they didn't work out? And then you're critiquing ours? It's like the guy who's like, who didn't become a quarterback, telling everybody how to become a quarterback. Slowly sounding like an incel. My wife is based. Listen, I'm super blessed when it comes to my, like, in today's culture, man, the wife I got, rare. So rare. My goodness gracious, God bless me with the best wife. The best. Can you explain the concept of the Trinity? Absolutely. Yeah. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, three distinct persons sharing in one nature, one essence, one role. Best way to think about it is probably the Moon Knight analogy. Imagine that you have one being, and in that being, he imagines himself as he has that perfect representation of himself. This is the Son. And because he perfectly loves himself, that is the Holy Spirit. Those are the three persons. So they share in one mind, one nature, but they have three distinct identities. Just like if you imagine yourself, right, you have this image of yourself in your head. It is not you, it is distinct from you. It still encapsulates everything that you are and shares in your nature. This is the Son and the Holy Spirit. Yeah, one nature. They share in one nature.
And he said, "Oh no, wait, never mind. I'm dumb." It's okay.
You got me confused there for a second on what was happening. Don't understand that, but just watch the movie Moon Knight or the TV show Moon Knight. It'll help you understand, because you'll have, what you have in Moon Knight is you have this one body, one energy, one essence, but in that body, energy, essence, there are multiple persons all sharing in that. Now, granted, it's not a perfect analogy because they all take turns with the body and all that, but it's not like a different nature. It's still what's his name, right? So think about it like if you have a dream, and when you're dreaming, you're having a conversation with somebody in the dream. The person you're having a conversation with is not the same person as you. It's a different person, but it's still you and your essence and your nature. There's nothing that makes that person in your dream distinct from you because you share in the same mind. Modalism. How would you explain the Holy Spirit as God? My Jehovah's Witness grandma says it's just God's force. Just go to the Bible verses that literally call him God. Like, that's not even really something that's contested. It straight up says the Holy Spirit is God. I thought he was possessed by God in Moon Knight. What? One divine nature without divide, yes. Would I ever debate for patriarchy? Yes and no. So I think patriarchy is a natural state due to evolutionary processes, so to speak. Men are the possessors of power, so therefore the patriarchy just exists. I wouldn't argue that the patriarchy is preferred. It just is. Right? So even in a matriarch society where we made women the leaders, they would only be the leaders because the patriarchs made it so. So at the end of the day, they would still possess the power. So you can't have a matriarch society. That would be my argument. Am I my current upgrade for my girlfriend in her 20s? What?
Greg is just being gross.
Oh, I don't read names. I
You need
didn't
to.
realize it was Greg.
You need to.
Have I ever had a discussion with Ian, Blitz, or Danny? Yeah, I've discussed with Ian or Blitz. Me and Danny don't like each other. We don't talk. What did you do to learn what you know?
Get OCD.
Yeah. Listen, I can't give you a method because what happens is I have an idea and I'm like, what is the answer to this idea? And then I spend a ridiculous amount of time looking into that idea until I understand it, and then I move on. And so, like, I think my concept of the Trinity I learned from Thomas Aquinas as well as the Thomistic Institute, but I'm not Thomist, right? I also think I learned it from Swinburne. No, somebody else. Like I read a lot on it. I couldn't cite you the sources as much as I'd want to. My OBS just disconnected. Can you guys still see me?
I
OBS reconnected.
Garrett.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Garrett.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Garrett, you're not wrong.
So me and my wife, we call it opening a task. Once I have a task open, I cannot not focus on anything else until I've resolved that task. So a good example of this would have been one of the issues I had when I first became a Christian was that if you read the plain reading of the text in 2 Kings, I think it says that Yahweh lost a fight to Asherah, to the god of the Moabites. And that became an obsession of mine for months. And so I looked at everything and a lot of good explanations. And I still even kind of wrestle with that sometimes because it does in the plain reading of the text seem to imply that he lost the battle. But when you understand more of the context in Kings, it seems to imply that it was Yahweh's judgment, not Asherah's judgment that fell upon them. And a big reason of this is because you could assume the author would be an Israelite, and the author as an Israelite wouldn't have wrote that. What epistemological model do you hold to, and how would you solve the problem of infinite regressive justification? How do I solve the problem of infinite regress? I don't have to because I don't care. The problem of infinite regress, it only works if you hold to A theory of time. If you hold to B theory, there is no problem with infinite regress. I don't care which model you want to hold to. I could still point to God, because even if we hold the B theory of time, and you could have an infinite regress because it's not a chain. The only problem with like infinite regress is it has to be a chain, right? If it's not a chain and it's just infinite, you could have infinites, right? You just can't have actualized chains of infinite. But you could have potential infinites. In B theory, you can have an infinite, it's just not a chain. So there's no problem. But you still have to explain the totality of contingent things, which is like one of the things we're going to talk about tonight, because freaking what's his nuts made a whole argument against me about why it's okay to have infinites. Like, I don't care. It was so stupid. All right, guys, I got to go. I love you all. Stay sexy. Especially you. Oh, wait, I have this thing and I never use it. Oh, that didn't work. Never mind. Stay sexy. God bless.